are up at Bison Media Day. The North Dakota State football season is 3 weeks away. Plus, Cam Miller makes his NFL debut. It's a bright one. And the Fargo Little Leaguers back on the diamond in a couple hours. Hot Mike starts now.
Hot Mike with Dom Izzo.
Really? Really, Dom? I like what Dom feels.
Okay. Dom Izzo.
Jeez. Come on, Dom. What do you think I am?
Yeah, I'm fired up, Dom. What else could I say?
Absolutely. It was great to get on the field. And then Dom came up to me, and I'm trying to walk away from me. I just wanted to enjoy myself out there.
Hot Mike.
Great job.
There's got to be some kind of intelligent question about something. Is a
Coach Dom Izzo, WDAY in Fargo, North Dakota. Hot Mike. Presented by Northwestern Mutual.
That program is second to none.
On the networks of WDAY.
You know, if it's not about sports, I find it very hard to concentrate.
Here's Dom Izzo. Dom Izzo.
Good Friday morning, and welcome to Hot Mike as we wrap up the week in style. We are live up at the Nodak Insurance Company Football Performance Complex. It is Bison Media Day to wrap up the week, as we are just 3 weeks away from the Bison opener at the Citadel. And today we are loaded to chat with some Bison players, coaches to get ready for the 2025 season. Welcome to a steamy indoor performance complex. No AC, so we already have the customary, apparently, sweat towel for not just me, but our guest today that we're going to need throughout the show. But great to be with everybody on this Friday morning. We got a tremendous guest lineup. We're actually going an hour later today as well. We'll be on from 11 to noon exclusively on WDAY Plus with a bunch of other interviews. So if you're not sick of us by 11 o'clock today, we got another hour coming up here this morning. A lot to unpack. I mentioned in our show tease on a busy Friday coming up here in about 3 hours' time. I remember we were up here 2 years ago on Bison Media Day to watch the Fargo Little Leaguers beat the team from Sioux Falls to go to the Little League World Series. And here we are again now 2 years later at Bison Media Day, and the Fargo Little Leaguers are playing for a chance at Williamsport. First pitch is coming up at noon today. Sioux Falls beat the team from Nebraska to get into the winner-take-all game. It's not, I've had people ask me up and down over the last 24 hours, it's double elimination. It is not. It is one game, winner-take-all, to go to Williamsport. That's coming up later today at noon. The big story from overnight, if you did not stay up last night, and I don't blame you if you didn't, the Raiders and the Seahawks playing as the NFL preseason officially opened last night. And we were wondering and waiting when Cam Miller was going to make his NFL debut. Before that, Gray Zabel and Jailen Sundell started for the Seahawks last night. Zabel, by all accounts, knocked it out of the park. He only played 9 snaps, but nobody got by him. So apparently he aced his first test. For Cam Miller, he didn't make his debut until the fourth quarter. Aiden O'Connell, the Raiders starting quarterback, backup quarterback, because Geno Smith got a few reps. We didn't see Cam get in until the fourth quarter. And when he did, he was electric. Let's show you the highlights from last night in Seattle for Cam Miller's debut. And it started off, he didn't get the ball actually about 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and then decided to air it out as he hits Shedrick Jackson on a 41-yard bomb for a touchdown after a pump fake. He got it right there on the money for his first NFL touchdown pass. It was a thing of beauty. Cut the Seahawks deficit after the extra point to 23-20. The Raider veterans were just overjoyed with what they saw from Miller after he delivered that. Just a fantastic throw there, and he had to come back for a little bit to Jackson and wait for it, but it was there when he needed it to get the Raiders on the board. We mentioned earlier in the week, you heard from Cam, he visited with Tom Brady, of course, the owner of the Raiders, to get some conversation there. Cam wouldn't reveal exactly what they talked about, but clearly something positive was said. After the Raiders got the ball back, drove down, they kept it on 4th and 1, and we've seen that before, a QB keeper from Cam to pick up a first down, keep the Raider drive going that would eventually set up a game-tying field goal on a second down play. This was a sack here that brought him back. Miller got to the full NFL experience last night. Made a couple of neat throws, got sacked. This was his best throw of the night. On 3rd down and 17, able to make a play there that set up a field goal to tie the game up at 23. Now, the Raiders actually made a stand, got the ball back. This actually Another nice completion there. Got him out for about 7-8 yards. Raiders took their final timeout. This is pure Cam. Out of the pocket, rolls, throws, hits a brilliant ball down the field. That, by many, thought was his best throw of the night. You see him getting plenty of encouragement from Raiders head coach Pete Carroll. They were down to the final seconds of this one. Got another completion to get out of bounds to stop the clock. That would set up former Viking great Daniel Carlson, who already hit a couple of 50-yarders to try and attempt a game-winning field goal, and actually got blocked at the buzzer. So the game ends in a 23-23 tie, but the story of the day was what Cam did. 6 out of 7 in his time in the game. Was brilliant there throwing the football for 76 yards and a touchdown as the game ends officially in a tie. And what else can you say about making his debut there? The Raiders coaches were effusive with their praise afterwards on how he performed, but heck of a debut for a guy that we thought would probably assimilate pretty well to the National Football League, and he did that in spades last night in leading the Raiders back. He got in 3 drives. They scored 10 points and were in position to score another field goal at the end to win the game. So heck of a performance there from Cam as the game ends officially at a 23-23 tie. So that's the first of the Bison quarterbacks to play in this week. Obviously, Trey Lance has already played one game and saw what he did last Thursday night for the Chargers in their game with the Lions. Easton Stick going to play tonight for his Atlanta Falcons debut. We imagine he's going to get out there for the first time. And a bunch of other Bison also will get their first cracks at it coming up later. Real quick, I will read this one tweet we got last night from a Seattle beat writer that covers the Seahawks, just so we can get the full explanation as well on Gray Zabel's debut, because that was also impressive. It's hard to get highlights of offensive linemen, but this is Greg Bell, who covers the Seahawks, covers them for the Seattle News Tribune out there. This is, let me find this. Sorry, I should have had this saved and ready to go. Here we go. Zabel dominant in the Seahawks game debut. First O-line with 3 regular starters. Bulldozed the Raiders starters in the first half. This is why they drafted him so highly. Rookie left guard pick Gray Zabel let no Raider past him on any of those 9 plays that the first Seahawks offensive drive. Drove his guy back on each of 3 run plays. Impressive start for the first-round pick versus Las Vegas's starting defense. So it wasn't the backups. It wasn't guys that were not going to make the team. It wasn't guys that are scrambling. That's what the Raiders are bringing out there for their starting unit. And Zabel impressed last night. So that's the initial review from Game 1. Jailen Sundell was starting right next to Zabel last night. Had one bad snap. Actually, it was probably more on Drew Lock, the quarterback, than it was on Sundell snapping the football. But pretty cool stuff to see that out of the chute to start the NFL preseason last night. And pretty cool stuff as we start our show here with the man himself, the head football coach at North Dakota State, Tim Polasek, sits in here. It's great to see you, bud. Did you stay up late last night to watch some NFL football?
I watched all of it, both games. It was pretty cool. I shot a text to those guys, earlier in the day or whatever, and really, I mean, it's a big deal for the first.
Really big deal.
The first snap. I mean, you can say everything you want to say, whether we're scrimmaging out here tomorrow and that's the freshman's first chance in college football, or if it's a preseason game. And, I mean, man, that crowd, right, they showed up last night in Seattle. So it's a big deal, and it was really good.
So Cam there, just a typical Cam Miller pump fake throw, touchdown pass. He runs for a first down on 4th down. I mean, that's what we're accustomed to seeing out of the guy.
Phenomenal, right? And then I thought the zone read on third and short was kind of Cam-esque. It didn't come out of there for 40, but he gets the first down. And then I'm sure their coaches are in there, hey, no, you can't underthrow this ball. It's got to be
where it's got to be, right?
And I hope he'll get more opportunity, I think, in the next 2 games. I really do.
This is a tweet from a guy who covers the Seahawks on Gray last night. Zabel let no Raider past him on any of the 9 plays the first Seahawks offensive drive, drove his guy back on each of the 3 run plays. Impressive start for the first-round pick versus Vegas' starting defense.
Yeah, it was, well, I thought the first snap could have been a little bit better. He could have anchored. But from that point forward, it was pretty dominant performance. You know, his play action, the hard ball play actions, I mean, he was getting up into their pads, creating separation, got lockout. He really played really well, and you're exactly right. Those were the starters.
Yeah.
And so I bet he feels a lot better about things right now than he did yesterday.
It's just fun to watch. You know, we've done this for a long time. I can remember vividly, Tim. I think we were together watching Carson Wentz make his preseason debut, of how big a deal that was. And I know it's preseason games, but this is professional football now. It's a big deal.
You know, my role has obviously changed, but it's almost kind of sad at times for me. I wouldn't miss a snap of a preseason game, whether it was Carson, Billy Turner, Joe Haig. I remember, like, okay, what time, you know, and then all of a sudden you're at Iowa, you coach some guys, there's some guys. Well, now there's like 3 or 4, you know, Cody Mox in a fight with the best D tackle that I've ever coached against. You know, he was at Mississippi State, and they're in a fight. I mean,
and Cody got the best of it, it looked like, yesterday there as well. All right, so we're over a week and a half in. Pads have been on. You know, we talked at Missouri Valley Conference Media Day, wanted to see the fur fly. Have you seen that through the first 9 days?
Yeah, you know, and you know I watched the show, or at least I put it in the background and just kind of listen. I love all things Bison football. And I want to say this, too. I appreciate the sports fans you guys are. You're enthusiastic every day. But I was like, you know, I was really happy with the way I came across the other day in the meeting. And I'll tell you what, yesterday, all of a sudden Josh Mangan's knees are bent. There's some really good posture. There's some things showing off. Nate Sneckelhoff has stacked up 2 days now. Okay, the big boy, the young kid is going to get better every day. Yeah. But, like, you know. So
message was sent
maybe it worked.
And received.
Yeah, maybe it worked. It's been super physical. I'm not excited about our injuries, but it kind of shows up in that way, and we'll get some of these guys back. It's been extremely competitive and really physical. Dan Larson made a comment. Our first, live tackling drill was probably in his 7 years the most physical that we've had. And so we got a chance to be a physically tough team, and we're going to need that early.
Give me a couple position groups that have stood out through the first 7-8 days that maybe you weren't intending on paying attention to that grab your attention.
Oh, good. That's interesting, right? I don't know that there's one that I would choose that I wasn't going to pay.
Yeah.
I just been, and this is, God, now what the fans want to hear. We don't want to punt, but Bickerton has been punting the ball a lot better. Our kickers have been extremely impressive. So just paying attention to the special teams, I really like what LJ and Cody Morgan and Devin are doing there. Booth at corner has a real shot. I went into it probably not going to pay attention a lot to the corners.
Yeah.
And Will Johnson's done such a good job. They've been pretty impressive at times.
I look at your other transfers. DJ Scott has grabbed my attention looking in the running back room, and I know we talked plenty about what Miles Mitchell has done. DJ's a big guy, and he seems fast for being how big he is.
His first workout out here, I was like, golly, maybe this ain't going to work. But he had never been in a training program like this. DJ Scott and Miles Mitchell are most certainly right in the middle of that mess for the number 2 running back spot. DJ's been really impressive. He's a physical guy that wants to get after it. And then I think I see the same thing as you. His feet are a little better than I thought, and he can open up his gate in short areas. Jackson
Williams keeps stepping out to me, and it was about this time last year, I think you told me, because it was what freshman? And you told me Jackson Williams, and obviously it played, but man, he just pops every time that we're up here to watch practice.
Well, I'll give you 2 answers to that. With Jackson, the number one thing with him is just his energy level. He's got an NFL spirit. I mean, he can run. He's above 7,600 high-speed distance yards every day.
Wow.
And he just does not slow down. So he's ultra competitive, but he's really taking care of his body. I think those are his best 2 attributes, obviously, and then his talent level is good. But the freshmen are always fun to talk about because it's the first time you're seeing them. Yeah. You're seeing, did you recruit? And it's difficult to put them out there, but it's not difficult to see kind of who the special ones are going to be within a recruiting class because they catch on fast and they're just able to be themselves.
I know you were really excited about this class. This will be the last thing before I let you go. I know you got a ton to do today. But the athleticism of the 25 class, you and I talk frequently when you got the commits, like, this guy could be really good. is it say something like, okay, we're recruiting certainly the right guys because we think they can come in and help us right away?
I don't know if it's necessarily, we want to be a program, we looked at things like, okay, what does the picture look like for 5 years? We're past that now. We're more looking like we're running a program for 3-year stretches, because of the portal and some things that could happen. I just know in today's day and age, there's just, with one guy that drops out with the portal that was an eventual starter or a starter, all of a sudden there could be a gap if there's an injury. Okay, now that's where that kid gets moved up. The next thing you know, you move him up and he's doing really good. Why wait? And we talk to these kids in recruiting. It's a race to maturity. If they can help us, we're going to play them. We're always going to do the best thing for them and their futures, but what is that? And then we always have to protect our families and Bison Nation. And so more and more young kids, I think, do have a shot. And then when you recruit some of the size that we recruited, that was on purpose last year. I thought we needed to recruit a big physical team up the middle. And so those linebackers, right, they just look different and they move well. Yeah. Elijah Wayne he was 6'4.5", 238 when we started this process, but we were sitting there going, well, in 2 years he's going to be 285.
He's 273 right now
already, so he's a little bit ahead. And Ethan Wood's the same way. Ethan Wood is 6'3.5", 6'3", 254. 252, and so he provides some versatility as well.
The heat and humidity, I know it's not South Carolina-esque, but does that help to get ready for 3 weeks from now?
It does, and it grabbed Coach Larson's attention yesterday. He said, I got to be more mindful when we're going to be outside on a hot day for all the sessions, and I kept the offense or the ones outside the whole time. Yeah. We got to be running stuff that we know that's not new in order for us to compete and fight. Our defense finished with an unbelievable passion and energy and enthusiasm yesterday, where the offense kind of was like, maybe they peaked up there and was like, okay, 1 minute to go. Thank God, because it was hot. Yeah. And we were working, and thank God for Emma in nutrition and Jim Kramer and Ryan Napoli for what they do. We're refueling as soon as practice is over with fruit. That stuff is all at a very, very high level as far as mid-major football.
It's great to see you. Have a good day today, and we'll talk soon, okay?
Appreciate you.
Tim Polasek getting us started here on Bison Media Day. We'll take our first break. We come back. Cole Payton will join us to get us off and rolling. We got Cole Payton, Bryce Lance, all the Bison standouts going to join us here on Hot Mic on this Friday morning. Back on WDAY Extra. We're live up at NDSU's indoor facility right after this. Welcome back, everybody. Hot Mic rolls on this Friday morning, live on location inside the steamy indoor practice field here for North Dakota State on Bison Media Day. Great to be joined by QB1. Cole Payton joins us. It's been a long time for me to say QB1. How's that sound when I say that?
It sounds good. Super excited for the season. Been putting in a lot of hard work. Stepped up as a leader this offseason, losing Cam and Gray's Able and some of those older guys. I guess there was not only a class but kind of two classes ahead of me for the last few years, and so just kind of molding into a bigger and better leader, and so excited to help lead this team.
What were a goal or goals you had for fall camp? You already are a leader. You've been a leader on this team, but what did you have personally set aside for these 30 days to get ready for the season?
Definitely, number one's always been improving the passing game. Mechanically, accuracy, all those things. And so paying attention to that, taking care of the football. But another one's to be a team captain. And like I said before, that started in the offseason, losing some leadership guys that we've had in the past that I got to learn from, and guys like Cam Miller. And so looking up to him and how he led people and how he brought people along. So I'm super grateful to kind of carry on that legacy.
How eager are you to show off your left arm that people say can see you run? When we've talked about this for the better part of a couple of years, say, I can throw the ball, and I can throw the ball just as good as anybody.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I love the naysayers, and I wouldn't be, still be playing quarterback if I couldn't throw. That's the thing. Obviously, I made a role for myself, being a good runner and using my legs, but, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now if I couldn't throw the ball. I'd probably be playing tight end or linebacker or running back or something. And so, super excited to just, compete and show show everybody what I've been working on.
I was visiting with Raja Nelson about this on Monday, about the wide receiver group here, that it may very well be the best wide receiver group in the country. At NDSU, where you run the football, you get to throw to these guys. What is that like as a quarterback to have the different kind of weapons you have at the wide receiver spot?
No, yeah, we're blessed. Super grateful to have those guys. I mean, obviously we lost Braylon Henderson, Tyler Terhark, but everyone else is back.
Yes.
We have Bryce Lance, Makai Collins, Chris Harris, Jackson Williams, John Gores is going to step up. I mean, we have some veterans.
There's some young guys, too, that are trying to get on the field.
Chris Keel has been a standout. And so, yeah, they make our job easy. And so, obviously the Bison have always been, a smash-mouth football team, and we'll still be that. But we can make plays both on the ground and through the air, especially with that room.
The comfortability, Cole, of having a guy like Trent Fraley back, the starting center who was there last year, how much does that help for you that a guy that has done it is back, is the one snapping you the football this year?
Super comfortable. I mean, we ask a lot out of our centers when it comes to making points and in protection, and Trent's a smart guy. And the thing about Trent is obviously he transferred from Marshall, but it doesn't feel like he transferred. It feels like he's been here for a good 2-3 years, and I respect the heck out of Trent, and I love him like a brother. So
to have that Griff be back, but you have 2 new tackles. Describe what that's been like, and knowing there's a battle right now on the offensive line. Is that something you pay attention to? That who's gonna be the 5 out there for the first game?
Yeah, for sure. I guess my job this offseason and throughout fall camp is just to continue to push those young guys. Beau Johnson and Josh Maggin, and then even Ryan Babbitt stepping up.
Yeah.
He and Jack Lewinsky. I mean, those guys are competing hard and just getting that killer out of them. It's hard to play O-line, especially at NDSU. And so just trying to get that killer mentality out of them each and every day. And I'm excited to see where that room goes.
What are you most eager about to be the North Dakota State starting quarterback? What are you most eager to show people come August 30th?
That's a good question. It's not about me. It's about this team. I'm just excited to be out there with my guys. Like I said, I had surgery last fall, and it just sucks not being out there, And so I learned not to take things for granted, and just to be out here practicing with the guys, just to be competing and trying to improve every single day. That's why I'm doing it.
Last thing for you, and I really appreciate it. I know you got about 10 of these today. That play where you got hurt last year, it seemed it was just another innocuous Cole Payton run. But when you got up, obviously you knew something was wrong. When did you sit in, realize, I'm done. I'm not going to be playing for a while? And what went through your mind knowing I'm going to be out for the rest of the season?
Yeah, there was some denial and, some frustration for sure, because you put your heart and soul into this game, and it can be gone in an instant on, like you said, an innocent tackle that I've been tackled like that 100 times. It kind of just got hit funny, landed funny, not sure what happened, but it was a bummer, but I learned a lot from it, and shout out to our athletic trainers and Tricia Shannon and the rest of the staff. Just continue to pour into me even though I was on the sideline, and so excited to give back for sure.
How nice is it to have number 5 to throw to?
So nice. I mean,
you guys came in together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was funny. We actually yesterday, or I think it was yesterday, we after dinner, we were at the Dome early watching some film, and we pulled up a little throwback 2021 fall camp. The indoor wasn't here.
Yep.
It was Bryce and Chris and Eyes and Owen Johnson, Barika Penny. It was our first year here, and we
wow.
It was humbling.
Yeah.
It was humbling for sure. Just watching us not knowing what we were doing, missed assignments, bad execution, but we've come a long way, so it's fun to have them.
Last thing about that, just that senior class, there's not many guys left. Some guys moved on. The rest have stayed. How important is it for you guys, the ones that stayed through the 5 years, that we want to finish this the right way?
Yeah, that's super important. We want to leave a legacy somehow, and that's to stay on top, keep the Bison on top. Super grateful to be a part of this senior class this year.
It's great to see you, man.
Yeah,
Stay healthy.
so much,
Good luck.
Tom.
All right, we'll see you on August 30th. All right.
Appreciate it.
Cole Payton joining us here on Bison Media. When we come back, Bryce Lance will join us, standout wide receiver, the guy who's going to be throwing in the ball. That's coming up. We come back on Hot Mic right after this. Welcome back, everybody. Hot Mic Live on location rolls on Bison Media Day as we get ready. We're 3 weeks out from the Bison season opener at the Citadel. Our next guest, we did this rodeo down in Sioux Falls, but now we're actually practicing. But before we get to Bison stuff, Bryce Lance, the last 2 Thursday nights, we've had some quarterbacks play, and obviously your older brother, we want to talk about that in a second. You stayed up late to watch what Cam did late last night?
Oh, yeah, had to, yeah. I mean, we're in fall camp right now, but to get an opportunity to watch Cam do his thing, man, yeah, I had to stay up. But that was awesome to watch.
Were you just like shaking your head like, I know, I've seen that routine before, right?
Yeah, I mean, don't think anyone around here is surprised. No surprise talks in the building today, but it was so cool to see Cam get his opportunity.
The fact you see him out there, he's talking with Pete Carroll. Max Crosby comes over and is dapping him up. I mean, it's just like you shake your head like 12 months ago he was, he was right here.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. But I think that's just a testament to, Cam, his work ethic, and, his ability as well.
Older bro, a week ago today is the talk of all TV after what Trey did for the Chargers. Give me, when you had a chance to talk to him and see, he looked different last Thursday night. What did you get a sense when you talked to him?
Yeah, so my parents got a chance to go to the game.
Awesome.
And they're going this Sunday as well. But, he's just super excited for, any opportunity he gets to play. He loves playing the game of football, so he was super excited for that, talking to him before. And then after the game, obviously, he was happy with his performance. Yeah. But, Trey's always looking for things he could have done better, so he's already nitpicking himself. But it was super cool.
Seeing Coach Harbaugh dap him up like he's done that, I got a kick out of that.
Oh yeah, it's surreal. I mean, that's kind of Harbaugh's thing is patting the quarterback before. But it was super cool. I was so happy for him.
Well, let's chat some Bison football here. We were just visiting off air how sticky it is. 3 weeks from now, I got to imagine it's going to be hot and humid. Has the weather helped the last couple of days to get you ready for what's to come in South Carolina?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we might not like the weather right now, but it's only going to help us in the future. Obviously, going down to the Citadel, it's going to be hot. That's almost a guarantee. Yeah. So we're happy. We're happy with the weather how it is right now.
You like that or no? I mean, you're obviously upper Midwest guy your whole life, but
I feel like
heat.
I feel like I am just used to it at this point.
Yeah.
I've played football my whole life, had August fall camps my whole life, so it's just the weather is just something that comes with it.
The Minnesota guys are starting their football practice on Monday.
Yep.
What do you remember about that? About the first days of fall camp in high school?
That's funny you say that. I walk into the locker room, remember the first day. The smell. Football kind of has its own smell, especially in the locker room. It gets progressively worse as camp goes on. But yeah, just the smell of football, it just kind of brings, that excitement back for sure.
Let's chat how the first week and a half has gone and what you've seen so far out of the Bison offense.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I think everyone's just getting better every day. Fall camp is hard, but I think, the harder you make it, the more you get out of it at the end of the day. So everyone's pushing themselves, everyone's getting better, so I'm super excited.
How about the opposite side? What are you seeing about the guys you're going against? Like this time last year, I think we didn't really know at corner. We didn't really know at safety. Those guys all played. What have you seen this year about them elevating? I mean, your guy Darius Givance is out there blowing guys up every day at practice.
Yeah, a lot of talent. Those corners, Coach Johnson has got them working and got them a lot better. And it's super exciting because, the better they are, the better we get as well. So I'm super excited for our defense this year. I think we're going to be really, really good on the other side of the ball as well. I won't tell them that during camp, but I'm super excited for them.
How have you handled the accolades coming your way, knowing there's a lot of attention, a lot of hype around you, that this was not the case this time 12 months ago? How have you handled that?
Yeah, I think it's just something I've been ready for. I've always had the faith and belief in myself that, I can achieve these things. But so it's not so much of a shock. I don't want to sound like, I'm still very humbled and honored by these awards and accolades. But it's not something that's super surprising to me.
Yeah.
And I think that, blocking out that is, of course, a factor. But like I said, I'm not really affected by those. I'm still, same Bryce, same hard worker. So, and I think that's going to, keep progressively getting me better.
You look at, I was talking with Cole about this, your class you came in with, it's not a big class. There are guys that have moved on.
Yep.
There is only, I think, 15 guys that have stuck around. And this was a COVID class. I remember we were probably right over here, you and your dad, when you were up here at practice watching Trey on a, quote-unquote, unofficial visit.
Yep.
But yourself, Jackson, Logan Kopp, Cole, obviously, Owen Johnson.
Yeah.
What is about this senior class? Because it was such a weird time to be recruited. Yeah. What do you remember about that?
Yeah, freshman year was a blur,
yeah.
honestly. I mean, just coming in and you don't even know what you don't know, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, I'm super happy with the guys that did stick around to stay. I think it's made us even closer, really close-knit group. But yeah, I'm really excited for the senior class. I think we've got a lot of great leaders in this class, and I think we've only pushed this team to get better.
Kopp told me down in Sioux Falls he's more of a actions louder than words. How do you fit? Are you in that as well, or are you a little bit of both?
100%. Yeah, I think I've kind of had to take more of a vocal role coming into this year. But I've learned from a lot of really good leaders. But, yeah, I definitely would say I'm actions first. I like to lead by example, and I think that's, my most effective way of leading.
Describe the young wide receivers. I mean, we only got to see it seemed like a little glimpse of Jackson Williams. Every time I'm up here, he's popping. He's making a big play. Isaiah had a big spring. I know Chris Keel has come up here and really impressed. What stood out about the young guys that maybe we don't know yet that could get on the field?
Yeah, they're just electric, I think.
Yeah.
I think this freshman class especially has come along really well for, the amount of time they've been here. Super excited for Chris Keel, for Dylan Vogel, S.J. Green, Drake, all those guys. I think, they're going to be a really solid group in the future, and I'm really excited to watch them.
Does it make you feel bizarre that you just talked about 5 years ago you were in that, and now you're the old man?
I know, it makes me feel, bizarre. It makes me feel old, all that stuff. The stuff they're talking about, I just can't relate to anymore. So I try my best, but, yeah, it makes me feel old.
Describe for yourself, you want to win, want a conference championship, national championship. You have your own personal goals outside of that you've set for yourself for 2025?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I always, strive to be, the best at everything I do. So, of course, I want to have a great season. But at the end of the day, like you said, the ultimate goal is, those championships. So, of course, I'm still pushing to be, a better version of myself every day. But I know what the goal is at the end of the day.
When you look at this whole journey, and we've talked about it often, I know some of our viewers have caught separate interviews that you and I have done about, your mom told me we were down in Frisco, just wasn't sure if it was going to work out here, just didn't know, that you stuck through it, and now to see it on the other end, how grateful or how satisfying is that for you?
Yeah, it was such a blessing. It was definitely, hard times. College football is not easy, whatever position you're in, if you're playing or not, but it definitely had, some talks with my family, just, it's like I said, college football is hard, so whether it was going to be here or somewhere else, but I'm really glad, that I stuck it out to just put my head down, didn't complain, and I obviously have been reaping the rewards ever since.
Was there a moment last year, Bryce, where it just clicked? Or does somebody have a conversation to instill, like, I believe in you, that this is going to happen?
Yeah, I think, Coach Polasek came in, and then we had spring ball, and Coach Landry as well, and those guys just instilled confidence in me. I felt like they really saw me as a player and a person. So it was really cool to see. Coach Crutchley as well has always been pushing me to get better. But, yeah, those coaches, and then also Cam Miller, just instilling that belief in me, saying, you're going to be a guy this year. So that was super cool, too.
Last thing, with Dan Larson now taking over as OC, I mean, he's been here the entire time you've been here. Any subtle changes, any noticeable changes with now him being offensive coordinator?
Yeah, of course. Coach Larson has put, kind of his own spin on things, and I have all the faith in the world in Coach Larson. He recruited me. He was actually my recruiting coach. He is, he's sent me, I remember freshman year, for example, it was, freshman year fall camp was really hard. I remember he sent me a text after camp one day just saying you're doing a great job. And, if little things like that go a really long way. I don't even know if he remembers that, but he has, just poured confidence into me as well. And I think, there's no better person for the job.
It's great to see you, man. Say hi to your mom and dad
Will
for
do.
me. All right, stay healthy, and we'll see you soon, okay?
Sounds good.
Bryce Lance joining us here on set on Bison Media Day. We'll break. We come back. We'll wrap up our first hour. Trent Fraley will join us. We'll get the big guys. We'll talk about the offensive line. We wrap up hour one of Hot Mic right after this. Welcome back, everybody, here wrapping up our first hour on Hot Mic on this Friday live at Bison Media Day. Now we're going to get to the real athletes of the team as Trent Fraley joins us, junior center, after a great season last year, preseason All-American pick here in 2025. It's great to see you. We were just visiting off air about the difference this time last year. You transferred in from Marshall. You went through spring ball. It looked like you were the leader in the clubhouse pretty early on at center. And then to have the kind of season you had, how different does 2025 feel to this time last year?
Yeah, I mean, it feels great, knowing what to expect. already the expectations are set. You keep raising the bar, and that's just what's really exciting about it is there's still so much to improve on and just so much to look forward to for this season.
A lot of change up front. That's one of the big. Fargo's one of the few towns where offensive line gets as much scrutiny as it does. So you're in the middle here and Griffin Empey's back. How much are you paying attention to the switch out to the guys who are coming in to try to earn reps and earn spots? Is that something you pay attention to or no?
Honestly, not really. Not right now. I mean, I trust the coaches. I trust my teammates as well. Whoever's in there, I know they know what to do. I mean, yeah, maybe there's a couple of differences with some guys and how they do things, but they get coached the same. They know what to do, and I trust them. So
last night, seeing three Bison playing, and a guy that was right next to you in Gray Zabel. How neat was that last night, and seeing Cam do what he did?
Yeah, I mean, that was really cool just to know that just a couple months ago you were playing with them on the field, right? And now they're playing NFL talent and dominated. They had great games.
Gray had a great time out there last night.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just really good for them and happy for them.
I was asking Cole about this earlier, about the relationship with you and the quarterback, and you obviously worked with him last year. How much comfortability does that help? How much does that get you ahead of things for 2025?
Yeah, I mean, it's been great. I mean, the only difference I would say is under center. That's kind of the only compromise you may have to make, but I mean, it's been good working with Cole already. I mean, we have no issue on under center exchanges, so it's been smooth.
Is it different because he's a lefty? Is that what you mean? Like that? Is that part different, or what? Can you explain a little bit about what the difference is there?
Yeah, I mean, I think lefty probably is something that quarterbacks, they go a different amount of ranges, you could say, in depth they go, but just making sure that we have smooth exchanges every time.
I was asking this, and I've gotten different answers. Now with a lefty, does that mean the right tackle becomes more important as the blind side? Is that big a deal or no? Because all we hear about the left tackle, right?
I mean, I guess now it flips to the right side, but at the end of the day, it's just the blind side tackle.
The decision to transfer, we talked about it during the middle part of last year. Now that you're more than 18 months removed from doing it, can you describe that decision and how well it's paid off for you?
Yeah, I mean, it really couldn't have worked out better. Come into a program, win the national championship, and now we're set up for hopefully another run at it. I mean, it's just been a great transition. Obviously, things don't always work out that way. The grass isn't always greener. But luckily, just going to NDSU, the grass is greener. You have a great coaching staff, great players, great teammates. Bison pride. It's something you don't get at first, but you do you feel it. You feel it. It's something you feel. So, I mean, it's just been a great transition to make.
Expectations, Trent, obviously are sky high to repeat, win the Valley again. I know that's the team goals as well. What's it going to take to accomplish that in your mind in 2025?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just going to take the continuous hard work and effort. I mean, it's something we've been putting in just a couple weeks after winning it last season. So I think just continuing that, not getting complacent, that's going to be a big thing. So just continue working forward. Know that this team, we haven't done anything. We haven't won a single game yet. So that's just going to be something that as a team we're going to have to push through.
Is there a couple of the young offensive linemen that you've seen that maybe we should pay attention to that's caught your eye through the first 8 or 9 practices?
Yeah, I know Ryan Babbitts. He's been one that's been working with the one, so that's pretty impressive. I mean,
that grabbed your attention? That's a true freshman. I mean, he just got here in June that he's done that already.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's really impressive. It's something you don't see too often, especially in the offensive line position where you have to be so physically mature to play it. But I mean, it's been good. I mean, he's still obviously learning.
Yeah.
We're still only 8 practices into camp, so there's still a lot to come to, and I'm sure that he's going to know the playbook. He's been studying it all summer long since he's been here, so I mean, I'm just looking forward to it.
The heat and humidity the last couple of days, I don't know if that's a preview of Charleston because we know it's going to be both of those, but does that help to get the body ready for what's to come at the end of the month?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say it does.
Yeah.
It may suck during the practice, but you just have to think about it. It's going to be even hotter down there, so it's just something – it's kind of good. You get to get used to it a little bit beforehand, so you're not just this heat's on you and you don't know what to do with it. It's like, well, we practice in pretty similar temperatures.
You had a hot one at Marshall? Anyone you remember, like the hottest game you ever played in?
Well, I didn't really play in many games at Marshall, but some of the practices did get hot.
Yeah, West Virginia gets sticky, right?
Yeah, coming to North Dakota, I will say I was not expecting it to get that hot after it gets so cold in the winters.
When you look at the offense, how it shakes out with obviously a new quarterback, you got a couple new guys at running back. Obviously, we talked about offensive line. That's a lot to newness there to gel. New offensive coordinator, new offensive line coach. you're one of the returners. I mean, how much stability are you trying to provide with a lot of newness around?
Yeah, I mean, it's been really good. I mean, Coach Larson, whenever he was coaching offensive line, learned a lot from Coach P. And then Coach Chmura was under Coach P at Iowa.
Right.
So, honestly, it's super similar. I mean, it's been a really easy transition. And then it's nice having Coach Larson be the OC, and it's somebody we already know, somebody we already respect, and he knows what we can do, what we're capable of. So it's nice.
How often is he sneaking into the offensive line meetings? Is he still doing it?
Yeah, he'll come in occasionally and just talk to us. So it's been good.
We're going to have Coach Chmura on in the second hour. Just what has his coaching style been like, and how have you guys adapted to that?
Yeah, so I mean it's different than Coach Larson. He's not quiet. He just isn't gonna scream. We'll say that. So, but I mean he'll yell when he has to. You know, just make sure we're doing good things good. But I mean it's been great. I think it's something that the room could really use. I think a lot of the guys now are playing just fast and free, and it's just something that I think is really good for the room, honestly.
When you get to this point of camp, you know, guys frustrated, I'm sure, you know, if one guy gets to make a big play. How do you handle that, not letting everything personal? Oh, defense won that rep, or defense maybe had a better day than us. How do you keep it even keel, Trent, throughout camp?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's just how you respond to things. That rep happened. Even say it was a whole bad day.
Yeah.
You have an entire day tomorrow to attack. And you can just simplify that into one bad play. You have a play coming up again, so just don't make the same mistake. I know Coach Chmura, he's always harping on that, like, so what, now what? Like, yeah, something bad happened. Even if something good happened, like, it doesn't matter for what's coming next.
When you get to this point, you know, you got a scrimmage coming up tomorrow, you're like, God, I'm ready to hit somebody else, or not yet? Is that like a week from now?
No, I think it's already kicked in. But, I mean, I think that kicks in early into camp. I mean, we still have a lot of camp left, so I'm sure it's just going to continue to heighten. But, I mean, it'll be fun to finally hit somebody else.
Going against this defensive line, how much does that make you better, you think? And
yeah.
Going through that every day.
It makes us an insane amount better if you think about it. I mean, Jackson Dudenheffer, Keenan Wilson, Logan Larson, everyone out there is just – they're athletes. They dominate against other teams we play. So, I mean, it's just so – we're fortunate as offensive line to go up against them, because it's making us better every single day.
How much maybe do we not know how big – everyone knows the tackles, because that's the, you know, I mentioned the blind side. The center position in an offense like this, is it more important than maybe you even thought when you got here?
Yeah, probably than what I initially would have thought. You know, I think my football knowledge since coming here has grown a tremendous amount. Before I thought I knew a lot, and then I came here and I was like, wow, like this is learning football. Like I've never – experience something like that, so I think it's a really important piece that not many people know about, but it's not that big of a deal. It's just your job, it's your role. So
your dad, obviously, long time in the NFL, coach in the NFL. How much do you guys converse? Do you talk football, or no? Do you talk everything but football?
No, I mean we'll talk football. It's been hard right now, just the both of us being in camp. So I haven't talked to him a ton recently, but I mean it's been good. You know, having another insight into what I can do better and what I can improve on. So.
How excited are they for this season, for what can happen there?
They should be really excited for it. I'm looking forward to watching them play. So
it's great to see you, man. Thanks so much for coming by. Appreciate this. Stay healthy and have a great 2025, all right?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Trent Fraley joining us, Bison Junior Center. He'll be one of the 5 guys you'll see with the Bison Open August the 30th at the Citadel. We'll break. We come back. We'll start hour 2. NDSU offensive coordinator Dan Larson will join us. We start our second hour after this.
This is Hot Mike.
Hot Mike.
On the networks of WDAY. Here's Dom Izzo.
Hot Mike on this Football Friday, live up at Bison Media Day. We got another 2 hours to come. We're going from 11 to noon as well. We've got to give the defensive love coming up later on in the show. But we've got Bison offensive coordinator Dan Larson joining us here. I read this to Polasek to start. This is a tweet last night from the game in Seattle. Why they drafted him so highly. Rookie left guard pick Gray Zabel let no Raider past him on any of those 9 plays that the first Seahawks offensive drive. Drove his guy back on each of the 3 run plays. Impressive start for the first-round pick versus Las Vegas' starting defense. What say you about that from his former O-line coach?
His first play, he got his butt kicked.
So I haven't had a chance to talk to him yet. But when I talked to him about that, he had a little bit of a welcome. Hey, we're playing the
that was the
NFL
welcome to the
football.
NFL moment?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
I got a chance to watch his first couple of series. I was really impressed. I mean, he was playing square. He was playing tough, and looked like there was some hustle plays at the end where he was willing to keep going out and finish. And I think just being who he is to the core, and pretty special to see him playing. And then obviously, Jailen right next to him.
It's got to be surreal. We were just visiting off air about that because there was a shot. I'm watching the start of the game, and there's Sundell and there's Zabel as Seattle Seahawks playing next to one another, and they were here not that long ago.
Yeah. I think I share with you. I brought a little bit of I don't think it has anything to do from a coaching standpoint. I think it's just like how happy you are that you get to see guys that poured into it and had dreams and are able to keep chasing it and playing and just keep playing. Then you think back of all those guys, sitting in the middle of the room or the front of the room, the disagreements, the conversations, the hugs and the joy that you experienced with both of them. It's all special. But I think at the core of it, it's special because there's two guys there that I care about, and then Cam, obviously, I care about, at a very high level, and all three of them are getting a chance to play professional football and chase their dreams.
It's kind of surreal to see them all out there.
Yes.
And then, that's the neat part. Tim and I were talking about to start the show about the next 3 weeks is to see the 20-some-odd Bison. They're going to get their chance to go out there. Trey did it last week. Yep. Easton's going to play tonight. It's phenomenal to watch, man.
It just – whatever your dreams are, right? And it's been said here for much longer than I've been here. I mean, whatever your dreams are, land on the moon or go play in the NFL. There's no doubt that you can't do it from, NDSU is going to give you every opportunity to go and do it.
Speaking of dreams, this is a dream job now for you, be offensive coordinator now. And we talked when you got the job in February. Now here it's fall camp. We're 3 weeks out from the opener. Has it hit you now that, okay, here it comes. I'm the OC at NDSU?
I think the 2-minute drill yesterday, we put the headset on, talking to the quarterbacks, situational football, talking about all those things. I think that part of it started to sink in a little bit. I don't want to say the gravity of the moments, right, but just what all now is really all entailed with this besides, calling the inside zone play on first down or, hey, let's, Raja hasn't gotten a throw. Let's, make sure we get one in here for him, or Bryce is pretty good, put one up, you're getting past some of those things now and you're getting into the nitty-gritty aspects of what's going to win us football games. And I think that part set in a little bit for sure.
I was visiting with Bryce about this, about putting your own personal spin on calling plays. I know you're not going to give us the kitchen sink, but what can we look forward to for a Dan Larson call game?
I'm a firm believer in that. If you got to match what your personnel is. If we're really good in 11 personnel and we can create a lot of conflict on a defense, then okay, we got to find ways that we can continue to maximize that. I still think the secret of the sauce is just you put guys in position where they can cut it loose and play really confident, really fast, and think in areas that they do. And if they're confident, then in some of the areas maybe where there's a weakness right now, it's going to continue to grow. So at the core of it, I mentioned to somebody else that watching Tyler take over that in 2019 and being really a completely different play caller than Courtney Messingham, and the offense still scoring points and winning games, right? And Jake Landry doing it much different than how Tyler did it. I think sitting in the chair, whether it was running back or offensive line, and watching those guys, there's a secret and there's a balance between both of those. I think it's the first 2 weeks of camp, okay, where's your personnel at? Who can you put in positions that are, one, going to score us the football, because that's the most important part of it, but then who are some of these guys now in some gritty moments, third and downs, got to have fourth downs that are going to rise to the challenge. I think that's the secret. It won't be a Dan Larson offense. It'll be the personnel for the 2025 NDSU Bison that, this matches who we are and this matches what those guys are really good at.
We just had Trent Fraley on, and we wiped it down for you there before he came on, but how much are you still sticking your nose in? I mean, you got to pay attention to the whole offense, but it's hard to separate from offensive line. Are you still keeping your feet in there?
I think it's really important that our guys recognize Coach Chmura as their offensive line coach. So I did have a moment where I saw something on film the other day and I didn't like it, and I walked into their meeting room and then we addressed it. And that was from a play caller, but also from a guy that sat in that room for 5 years and said, nope, this isn't what our standard is. I probably have intentionally stayed back a little bit because I want Dylan to coach him. I want those guys to know he's their coach. They all know I care about them. I recruited or coached every single one of those guys, or obviously my time there as the O-line guy. But it's really important that Dylan takes on that role and moves it forward. My eyes don't go away from it very often. Yeah. It's and it's still a source of pride when I see those guys passing a twist game off or getting some knockback, and it's like, it's yeah, right. Let's go, right. And then I have to move my eyes slightly to the left, and then I dang tight ends. No, we got to coach those guys up. So yeah, it's still a group that I'm incredibly passionate about, and my eyes don't drift away from for too long, but it has been different going out. The full width of the field and making sure my eyes catch the receivers too.
I think a lot of fans are wanting to know, and I'm sure you're going to give us the kitchen sink, how do you unlock the full Cole Payton experience this year? Yeah,
I think he doesn't have to worry about – the only thing that people measure a Bison quarterback on is, are they going to help you win games? So don't worry about trying to throw the ball like Cam or Carson did. Just be the winner that all those guys were, going all the way back to, Steve Walker, right? Going back to guys talking about in the 90s, the quarterbacks, right? Chris Simdorm, finding ways to win it in triple option. It's just about, can we win football games? So I think, right now, Cole is trying to continue to improve upon, throwing the ball, going through progressions. But from our standpoint, it's how do we maximize the ability to run? But just understand, we call 10 pass or 10 run plays for him. It's going to impact at some point in time the gas, the brain a little bit from a throwing standpoint. So there is a secret there. We got to find the balance. But I just know if the ball's in his hands and we got to have a situation, I truly believe that this kid's going to find a way to keep us on the field and help us win games.
To see the kind of weapons he has to throw the ball to, as North Dakota State's history of running the football, you kind of shake your head like, how do we get this group of wide receivers in this place?
We'll figure out a way. Yeah. It's gonna be a combination of throwing it. We got to find different ways that we can get some guys involved with the ball in their hands running it. It's too talented of a group not to use. So that's why we got coaches in front of our name, and we got a good staff, and we got a good head coach, and we got to use the full aspect of all of our playmakers.
You're going to scrimmage tomorrow. How much you take out of that? How much is that the first real bullet point to figure out what I want to see out of this team in 3 weeks?
The scrimmage tomorrow is big. Yeah, we're going to put some guys in some situations, and it's not even about plays. I think it's more about just how do we look, how do we in and out the huddle. All those things are really important to us, and then can we just go operate our base offense? It's a big scrimmage for us.
Is there a couple guys we don't know yet that we may know by the end of fall camp? Some new names or names that haven't got on the field as of yet?
I think in our running back room, I think Miles Mitchell and I think DJ Scott. I think fans are going to see Owen Johnson come back to a guy that we were really excited about a couple years ago. And I think there's some tight ends that are coming along that maybe their role will have expanded just a little bit more. I think the receiving room, we've got a lot of depth there. So I think that some of those battles, a Kate Osterman, a Silas Evans, I think there's some Jacob Kilsers. I think there's some battles there that keep coming up. Every day, John Gores finds a way to score a touchdown. It's unreal.
Catches the ball every time.
Yep. So we're gonna keep finding that, and then there'll be a really good group of 5 offensive linemen that'll be working to move the ball.
I'm glad you mentioned last thing with tight end, because we haven't spent a ton of time on the show yet today. With a group there that doesn't have a ton of catches, how are you looking at it on a day-to-day basis, saying, okay, we know we got guys who can block. Who can stretch the field and get down the field for us?
I think it's, what's the skill set that they have. And I think the biggest thing is, okay, in tough catch or tight catch moments, who's catching the ball for us right now? If they do it in practice versus our defense, it's a matter of they should be growing confidence to be able to do it on the field on Saturday. I really think right now I'm not as necessarily worried about the vertical aspect of it as who can catch the intermediates, the 5 to the 10s, because that is where, at the core, where NDSU's tight end started. It wasn't until we had these, freak shows about running down the field, right? Gindies and those types of Babbles and all those type of guys that stretched it and took it off the top. We got to find those guys that can make some catches for us in that 5 to 10 yard range.
It's great to see you, bud. Good luck this year. Thanks so much for the time, all right?
Absolutely.
Dan Larson joining us, NDSU's new offensive coordinator. We come back. One of the guys he recruited, Beau Johnson, will join us. NDSU's left tackle's coming up on the other side of the break. Back on Hot Mic on WDAY Extra right after this. Welcome back, everybody. Hot Mic rolls on our second hour. Don't forget, we're also streaming from 11 to noon today when the Bison defense will be under the spotlight. This guy next to me is in the spotlight. He's the new left tackle at North Dakota State. That's a spot that's produced 4 guys consecutively been drafted into the National Football League. Beau Johnson is next up. We talked about this. It's great to see you first. Thanks for doing this on the pressure that comes with that. I know you've been waiting for this for a long time. Tell people about the anticipation you've had about taking over this position.
Well, I was just telling you, it's been too long. I've been waiting 2 years. I think I'm ready. I should say I know I'm ready, and I know like the guys who came before me, but I'm ready to take that role. It's an honor.
You were the first to commit for the recruiting class a couple years ago. We talked when you were how big a deal was that for you personally? Say, I'm gonna be the leader. I'm gonna get everybody behind me to come to NDSU as part of your class.
Oh yeah, NDSU was a special school to me. I knew as soon as they offered, I was like, whoa, okay, I gotta take this now. Like if they get more signings, then I don't know if I just can't wait. I just got to go. So I knew instantly it's a dream school, and it clicked with me. And so I got on the phone with then Matt Entz and told him, I'm ready to be a Bison.
Were there more coming after that? Did the school still call even after you committed?
Oh, yeah. I got a lot of Minnesota came knocking. Even Wisconsin came, and Wisconsin was a big school for me too. So it was nice to hear them. It's just the Bison way. Like as soon as they hear Bison, they start coming. So
how was that to say? I like the phone call, but no, I'm all set.
Yeah, it was special. Not many people can do that, so it was an honor. Yeah.
So last year you got a chance to play. We were just visiting off air, and you got hurt in a spot where tough. It was a gang tackle play. Mm-hmm. How difficult was that? And to know, hey, I got to get out there. I want to get as many reps as possible. That you had to miss a little bit of time last year.
Well, I'm just grateful that it wasn't anything worse. After the game, we saw the X-ray. It was just a high ankle sprain. So now I'm just going to be more ready and prepared for situations like that, so it'll never happen again. But yeah. So
we were just visiting off air, seeing the guy that you're replacing was playing in the NFL last night. Another guy, Jailen Sudell, was here. Obviously, when you got here, the lineage, the pressure that comes with that. Describe that. Internal pressure that I want to live up to that of knowing what it means to be a Bison offensive lineman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I feel like everyone goes through that. They know the guys that came before them, and it's just part of the game. It's part of life. Just like next man up mentality. Just know that your brother's got your back, and it'll be as smooth as it gets. So
describe your game. How would you say when you're up there? Is there a way to describe you as an offensive lineman?
I mean, I've been told I got long arms. I can keep them away from me, I guess. I'm pretty, I guess, agile. So
all right. So now I want to go to the official source on this, because we always hear the left tackle is the blind side. It's the guy who gets all the money. But with a left-handed quarterback, is that different now? Is the right side more important than the left side?
You shouldn't ask me. I don't really know, but left tackle is still important, so I'm just going to do my best at that spot. So,
what's it like to block for a guy like Cole that can wing it, but also can take off and go?
Yeah, we're going to definitely have some longer plays with him scrambling back there. So I just got to be prepared for him. So
to go up against the likes of Kelton McCaslin, Toby and Anene, what does that do for you on a daily basis?
They're getting me right for sure, and I hope I'm getting them right. So it's a grind with them for sure, but it's going to prepare me for Citadel come week 1.
I was talking with Trent about this. Do you pay attention to the other guys that are lining up next to you? That it's changing. It's interchanging throughout the first 9 or 10 practices. Do you worry about that, or is that not until I know what the 5 are going to be?
No, I'm just worried. I'm just focused on myself right now and the guys next to me. I don't really know. The coaches will get us right. They'll put out the best 5, and I put my trust in the coaches, and right now I'm just thinking about myself, just like, this is first year, first time coming, and just basically myself.
Coach Polasek told me right off the top that Beau is taking some big steps here. He's really put his foot in the ground and gone. Have you noticed that when you watch back tape every night? Is there something noticeably different of even where spring ball was for you to now?
Yeah, for sure. I think it really clicked with me in spring ball. Like, hey, wow, you gotta really take these steps right now. You got a starting spot right in front of you, and it just kind of clicked with me, and I'm just taking it right now, hitting the ground running. So I think
How much of a personal goal is say I want that spot? I don't want it to be any decision making that it's me and that's it.
Yeah, I love my guys, but I know that this is my time. I feel like I deserve this spot.
Spring Lake Park's pretty good high school for football. Obviously, Zach Johnson played there, former Bison that came up here. What level of football is it for people that don't know down in the Twin Cities? What you guys play on a weekly basis on a Friday night?
Well, it's different with Spring Lake Park because our O-line, they have us in 4-point stances, so it was definitely a transition coming up here for just taking my right hand and keeping it off the ground.
Yeah.
Like, But so it was definitely a transition. But yeah, Sprint Lake Park, we're pretty known for football, so we're a tough-nosed team. But yeah.
I was mentioning this, the heat and humidity the last couple days. How much is that? You think you're ready for what's to come down in South Carolina here at the end of the month?
Yeah, for sure. I know it's gonna be hotter down there, but the heat's starting to click right now. But I'll be prepared. I'll be good.
Last thing, well, about this offensive line, is there a characteristic of it? Is there a couple ways to define it in your mind of what we're going to see come August 30th?
I think we're a real tough-nosed team. O-line, I guess, and. Yeah, I think we're pretty brute, I guess, is a word I could describe us. We're pretty tough, so we're a tight-knit group, I'd say, yeah.
It's great to see you, man. Stay healthy. Good luck this year. Thanks for the time, all right?
Thank you, Izzo.
Beau Johnson joining us here, the new starting left tackle at North Dakota State. We come back. I think we got NDSU's new O-line coach. We got Jackson Williams coming, too. We got a lot to get to. Back on Hot Mic right after this. Welcome back, everybody. Hot Mic rolls on here. Final 35 minutes or so of our show on Extra. We'll be going live from 11 to noon as well on WDAY+. The man next to me has been one of the talk of fall camp because every time we've been up here, he's been making an explosive play in the pass game. Sophomore wide receiver Jackson Williams joins us here. It was this time last year, I think I was talking right over here after, like, hey, you might play. What do you remember about 12 months ago about getting the freshman year of fall camp?
12 months ago, I was sitting here and I was thinking, I gotta learn these plays and I gotta learn them fast. And everyone's telling me you might have a chance to play a little bit, and I'm getting a little, excited, get a little jittery, a little nervous too. But yeah, I mean, I got an opportunity, and 12 months ago, head spin a little bit, but we're feeling a lot better now.
What? Was there a moment that clicked? Was it either during practice or was it even a game? So I belong out here. I can do this.
I'm not really sure if there was one exact moment, but yeah, I mean just running around with all these guys, and I have a little bit of speed to me, and I mean everyone else here does too. But running around, I think maybe in that Towson game when I ran through the defenders there, I was kind of like, all right, I belong here.
To do both a punt and kick return, I think only 4 other guys have done that, to return it for a touchdown in the same season. How personally gratifying was that, especially the kick return in a game where you guys needed some boost and you provided that last year?
Yeah, I mean, I just thank the guys in front. I mean, those big dudes, those big tight ends, they work really hard, and they made a huge hole for me on that kick return and the punt return as well. All those guys on punt D, we work special teams a lot, and it was great that they were able to, make a crease for me to get through. So, yeah, I mean, having a punt and a kick return in the same season it's not anything that I ever would have thought would have happened in my first year for sure. But things happen, I guess.
Coach Polasek said almost immediately after the season wrap, we're going to use Jackson even more in the passing game. Knowing full well what you were bringing back, how did you take that? Say, okay, all these guys are back, but they're going to use me. What did that mean to you?
It means a lot. I mean, you see the talent in the room. You have guys like Bryce Lance, Chris Harris, Raja Nelson, Makai Collins. I mean, all these guys can make plays, and it's really, really deep in our receiver room. Even down to the bottom of the depth chart, we have playmakers everywhere. It is ridiculous. And, learning from those guys, learning from Raj, learning from Bryce, seeing what kind of things they put on film and what kind of things they do day in and day out. It's been really nice to, have those guys there for me so I can learn a little bit more.
To see use your speed, and that's what I've seen. You're blazing past guys, and you're catching balls and going 65 yards down the field. How much of a difference maker is that to get out in open space and, just give me the ball and I'll take care of the rest?
That's a huge difference maker. I was talking to some guys last year when I scored against Missouri State. I was like, I think that's the first time I've ever caught the ball in the end zone without having to run there. But yeah, being able to make
remarkable.
Plays,
that's wild.
Being able to make plays in open space and run around a little bit, that extra yak goes a long way. So,
how would you describe yourself differently? What sets you apart outside of speed, maybe from the other wide receivers in your mind?
I think a little bit of shiftiness and the ability to, we'll have some jet sweeps, and Raj has been in the backfield. I might be in the backfield a couple times, if he's needs a break or something like that. So. And having that middle kind of that middle height where I can, get on the outside and play in the inside as well. So, yeah.
When you looked at for this upcoming year, what personal goals did you have for yourself for this upcoming season?
For this upcoming season, a lot of people have been asking me what goals I have. I tell them I want to score 10 times. I want to score 10 times. I just want to get double digits scores. But that's a goal I have.
Yeah.
But really, I just want to get on the field, work hard, and get better.
For people that don't know, your family and the Payton family are pretty tight. So, can you give us what the legend of Cole Payton is in Omaha, Nebraska? You got a little peek into that.
Yeah. No one wants to go play at Omaha West Side on a Friday night against Cole Payton. You get out of class and you're like, I got to go play Cole Payton tonight on defense, and you're very upset about that because he can throw the ball and he can run through you as well. So I'm luckily I never had to play against Cole Payton. But I feel bad for the guys that did.
But now you are playing with him. Does it almost seem surreal knowing that you knew about his reputation and now you're going to be catching passes from him?
It is a little surreal. I mean, growing up, our younger brothers played baseball together, so I think I've known him since I was maybe 9 or 10 years old. And kind of catching passes from this dude that I thought, he's at the game and I'm at the game. I'm like, man, this old dude, this is a cool guy. This is a really cool dude. And now he's throwing me the ball, so it's really cool.
What do we not know, Jackson, about Cole, the passer? Fans have seen him be able to run. You see him every day. What about him as a passer? Maybe we don't know yet.
He can spin it, and everyone's like, he's a left-handed quarterback. Does that ball come out weird? I was like, it spins a little different way, but it's the ball's coming the same way. So, working with him, and he likes to be very detailed in everything he does. And if you miss a rep, he's gonna get you another one. You're gonna do it again. So,
you growing up where you did, you're used to the heat and humidity. What has the last couple of days been like? And you think that's getting ready for what's to come in South Carolina at the end of the month?
It has been humid. It has been very humid. I felt like I was running around in swim trunks yesterday, like I just jumped out of the swimming pool. My pants were soaked, but I think it's good. It's gonna get us ready for Charleston. It's gonna get us ready for Nashville.
Yeah.
That's right.
We were talking off air here a couple minutes before I let you go. Your younger brother Bryson had a monster summer. He's recruited, going to go play Cincinnati, I believe.
He's going to Iowa State.
Iowa State. Sorry, Cincinnati was in the mix. There was like 18 schools.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt was in there.
Hard to keep up.
What was this like? You went through it a couple years ago. Now to see your younger bro do it, how kind of a different perspective was that for you?
It was very cool as an outsider watching him thrive.
Did he ask you at all about advice or no?
No, he kind of keeps to himself a little bit. He's like, he told me a couple times, like, these guys are talking to me. A couple coaches text me today, and I'm like, yeah, what'd you say? He's like, I don't know. That's just kind of how he operates. Yeah. But, he's a big kid, and he's going to be a great player, so I'm very excited to see what he does.
We talked about this. I know last year you got here with Marty here, Cole, the level of football in Omaha. For people up here in Fargo, can you give us just the insight of how good it is on a Friday? Elijah Wayne now, another guy that you played against, what it's like on a night-to-night basis? I
don't think a lot of people understand how good Omaha football really is. It's growing too, and you go out there and it's a dogfight. You have my rival school, Miller South. They beat us every time. It was just. You got some really big kids out there, kids going all over for school. We got kids going to Notre Dame, going to Nebraska. We got like 9 recruits going to Iowa State from there this year. The level of football has elevated, and I think it's just going to keep getting, bigger and bigger down there.
Last thing before I let you go, we mentioned Elijah. He's almost in the same spot you were last year as a true freshman that looks like he may get a chance to play. If he were to ask you, would you give him – what kind of advice would you give him about this month and get a chance to get on the field?
I would just tell him, keep his head down and work because you're going to get opportunities on the practice field first. And if you make plays out there and you just keep grinding and keep going at it, you're going to get an opportunity. They're going to give you an opportunity to play. You just got to keep a level head, keep grinding and take notes. Take notes in the meeting rooms. That's how you're going to get it done.
It's great to see you, man. Stay healthy. Good luck this year. Thanks for the time, all right?
Thank you. I appreciate
Jackson
it.
Williams joining us, Bison sophomore wide receiver. We'll break. We come back. We got Dylan Chmura coming up, NDSU offensive line coach. A couple other interviews. Wrapping up Hot Mic on this Friday. We're back right after this. More on this Friday, the offense wrapping up. We're going to get the Bison defense in here in just a bit, but we got to make a hot mic introduction. He's been on the job. How long you been here? 6 months? You haven't done hot mic yet?
Yeah, just about 6 months.
Dylan Chmura joins us, NDSU offensive line coach. Great to see you, bud. First off, what was the first time you met Tim Polasek? I need to know that story. What was the initial impression of meeting Coach P?
So really this goes all the way back to when I was getting recruited.
Okay.
I mean, you're talking 14, 15 years ago. But briefly in that, and then my younger brother also got recruited by him a little bit too, between when Coach was at NIU and then back here at NDSU. But real true coaching introduction came, I remember vividly, I wrote a note to him in the fall of 2018, just wanting to reintroduce myself, and built a relationship through text then, and then had the opportunity to interview with him when he was at Iowa. So that was kind of the introduction into the coaching side of it.
How is his? I don't think he's changed in the time when I met him in 2007. But for him as an assistant coach now as head coach, do you see any differences, or is it still pretty much the same guy?
He's the same guy.
Yeah.
Really high energy and just obsessed with details and precision and all the things that allowed us to have the opportunity to succeed, continue on. And it's an amazing thing to see.
Taking this job, when it came open, you're coaching in another spot. When you saw it, was this no-brainer? I got to get my hat in the ring. Tell me about that.
I think when somebody who's such an important mentor to you and Coach Polasek, and it's funny, and I got this from him, where go back and watch some of the press conferences going into game weeks, and he made mention of he hoped that I was somebody that he had made a big impact on. And, in that moment when I saw that, I texted him to let him know that, that's the case. But when you get to work for somebody that you really care about and who's made such a tremendous impact on your life and career, for me it was something I knew I could not pass up.
So is that something you reach out, or does he reach out to you, say, hey, we got an opening, I want you to apply? Like, how did the back channel work on that?
It was a little bit of both of them. Yeah. And Coach P and I had a great relationship over the course of time, from when he did end up moving on from Iowa to Wyoming to take that opportunity. We stayed in touch really consistently, and so there was that familiarity and being able to go back and forth.
Offensive line is a big-time spot in Fargo. It's one of the few that people know the offensive lineman as well as maybe the quarterback or the wide receiver. What did you know about the NDSU's offensive line pedigree before you got the job?
And it's interesting. It's, the amount of history with doing things a specific way. Right, really obsessed with precision, really obsessed with the fundamentals and how you do things. And that was something that was really well known to me. I mean, being a Packer fan, right, going all the way back to Billy Turner and understanding that a little bit, is doing a little bit of research and having, relationships that were on the staff previously, whether it be Coach Roll or Seth Hessness, Connor Sanger, Noah Pauly, all those guys, that you had an idea. Right, and then when you really get here and dive into it and you get to see the entirety of it going all the way back, it's really a truly special thing.
You're also coming in a spot where the Bison just lost three guys. They're playing professionally, 2 in the NFL, 1 in the CFL. Knowing that challenge, how exciting was that? Like, okay, this is big, but I'm ready for this opportunity.
It was really exciting to know that there's opportunity for young guys, and they're not young by reps or whatever it may be, but guys with the opportunity to step into a role and say, now it's my time, right? And we're having a great competition as we continue on through camp, and it's been really exciting to see these guys grow and, the competitiveness with themselves and with their teammates, right? But it comes out of a place of love.
You saw him up in spring ball. Now you see him here in fall camp. What's the biggest difference? Maybe, we had Beau Johnson over here, who looks like he's going to be the starting left tackle. Just let's start with Beau. What difference you saw from spring to what you've seen through the first 9 practices of fall camp?
It's really exciting to see him continue to trust himself, his athleticism, and be the big, strong guy that he knows he can be. That's one of the cool things with offensive line play. You can see those guys kind of come into their own and, just being big, strong, and then trusting yourself.
On the other side, Josh Mangan's a guy who played defense and now has transitioned to play offense for the last year and a half. How have you seen his transition go now to be maybe the full-time right tackle?
He's doing an excellent job. great understanding of what we're going to do out there and continuing to put pressure on himself to be the best version of himself he can be. Comes to attitude of practice with a great attitude every single day, and he's consistently on it.
There was a lot of hype, Dylan, before you got here about the 3 redshirt now freshmen that are on the offensive line. Nate Tosted is one, Coy Okeson's another from local guys. Noah Stummis is like a tree, how tall he is. How have you seen them? They're in their second fall camp now of trying to earn a spot on this offensive line.
It's guys, they're just trusting. Again, it's a lot of trust being an offensive lineman. You get put in a lot of man situations where it's me versus the guy that's in front of me, and continued depth of understanding of what we're doing, and then using your pads, right? That's the fun thing about offensive line is you have them on. You get to use them consistently, and those guys are doing their best to use them every single play.
The talk of camp, at least for me, this week has been the fact there's a true freshman on the offensive line getting reps, and Ryan Babbitts, and we were visiting off air before we came on about the potential here. Is this as a big a deal as we're making it, or what has stood out, I guess, to you about Ryan's progression to the first 7-8 practices?
I appreciate the fact that he takes every play as its own and then uses his tools, to the best of his ability out there for whatever the assigned play may be, whether it's run, pass, could be any of those. But he is doing a tremendous job of understanding, and when you get in there as a freshman against some of these older guys, you really have to be on it and get off on snaps and all those things, and he's doing a great job.
To have Dan Larson be around, how much is he sneaking into the offensive line room? Are you welcoming that conversation? Because I asked him earlier, and he said, I want Dylan to be able to coach the room. Tell me about the relationship that's gone on so far.
It's been awesome. Dan is very knowledgeable in the offensive line realm as well as a lot of other positions. He's been, a head coach in the past, a coordinator in the past. He's done a lot of different things. So anytime that I have the opportunity to learn, I take that and ask questions of, how did you do this in the past? And, is there a way that we can continue to reach these guys that maybe I might be able to change a little bit on in some form or fashion? But I'm very open to all that stuff, and that's why it's great having a former offensive line coach, too, as a coordinator and a head coach.
Do you have a certain style about how you coach? Are you a yeller? Are you a screamer? Or are you like, no, I can do it on a more calm basis of how I instruct?
I think it's interesting because you have to play the part of what is the timing in practice, right? Is it a high energy stress situation where you may have to take it down a click to get the guys rallied and going, or is it a time where you have to be? I don't know if you can tell. You know me normally. My voice isn't usually this raspy, so it should be this as we get to this point in camp.
10 days in, right?
But it's interesting. You go back and forth based off of the timing in practice and where the guys are at. So,
how often do you get asked about your dad being an all-time Packer? Is that like all the time, or you get sick of it? Like, how often have you fielded those questions?
I think growing up I was very used to it. But it is a conversation piece, and it's exciting. He's coming up for a game this year.
Nice.
And I appreciate how much support he's always shown me throughout my coaching career. Always makes an effort to be, where I'm at least for a game or two. But it does come up, mostly with, I make the joke that I got 80% of his athleticism. Otherwise, maybe I would have been able to do it. But
you were in the Big Ten, man. You got a chance to do that.
I did everything I could. I can tell you that.
I would say that. I mean, it was obviously in the '90s when the Packers were resurging there. Just that being a Wisconsin guy yourself, how big a deal is that? Knowing your dad played for the Packers, that's a big deal.
It's funny. I was talking to someone the other day, and they assumed I was a Packers fan, right? But I was like, well, with my dad playing for him and being in the Hall of Fame and all that, I kind of get grandfathered into that regardance. I'm not a stockholder like Coach Polasek.
Right.
I think I get a little bit of an edge into that there.
Before I let you go, do you have a timetable in your own mind to say, I'd like to know who our 5 are going to be by blank?
I'd say the next week and a half is going to be really critical for the evaluation process of these guys, and they're all attacking it every single day. I appreciate the excitement and energy that they all bring to practice, and there's a handful of guys that are competing to go out there for us on Saturdays right now, and that's the cool thing.
Thanks for doing this, bud. We'll get you on Hot Mic much more during the season, okay?
Sounds good, Dom.
Dylan Chmura joining us, NDSU offensive line coach. We'll break. We come back. We'll get the defense started, and we'll wrap up Hot Mic live on location on Bison Media Day. We're back right after this. Wrapping things up here on Hot Mic on this Friday morning. Don't forget we're going live from 11 to noon as well on WDAY+. Now we can get to the real athletes. The defense is here now. We're joined by junior safety Darius Givance joins us. Great to see you, bud. How you been?
I've been doing amazing. Good to see you, Don.
So it's too bad we didn't get to, I couldn't show the highlight of it. You already decleated a couple guys out here like it's the middle of November. Just describe the anticipation of being back out here and what fall camp's been.
I mean, fall camp, it's always an intense time for some guys, but, we're always taught just fly around, play fast, play hard, play together, and that's kind of what we're doing. We gotta teach that physicality to the young guys a little bit. So, we got to get everyone coached up, got everyone toned in, and we all got a goal. We all got to accomplish it, and, iron sharpens iron. So
we talked this time last year, especially in the safety room, not knowing what was going to be there, and the experience you all got, yourself included. How much different do you feel this year getting ready for the season?
I just feel so much more comfortable. I know, I feel like everyone in the room just feels so much more comfortable in the position that we're in, and just being able to lean on each other and just trust in each other. We all are comfortable and just confident in our abilities to get the job done, whether it's play strong safety, play free safety. We all feel great at every position, and I'm just super excited for what we have.
How different was that for you to switch last year, and how much better did you feel going to a different spot after where you started?
I just felt a lot more confident in myself. I just feel like the coaches are starting to trust me a lot more, willing to put me in a different position, and I just feel like I just had another role to play and another role to fill to help this Bison defense.
With yourself, with what Ryan did, what Jailen did last year, just especially late in the year, how big were those reps to bank on that for confidence-wise when you did them against South Dakota State, against Montana State, to take that over into this season?
It's just it's just seeing all the settings that we need to see, all the emotions, all the certain different moments in games that you kind of get used to, and then you just learn how to adapt to. And I just feel like that helps us just grow exponentially with everything that we're doing in the safety room, and just being able to play confident and play fast out there.
What do we know? There's a couple young guys getting a chance. I know Taylor got hurt. Of guys that are coming up as well. How exciting is that for you that you were in that role a couple years ago, and now there's guys trying to push you to get on the field?
Exactly. I'm just trying to be the best role model I can be for those guys, and just kind of be there for them every step of the way. And it gets hard being a freshman, and your head scrambling a little bit, and just really just learning the basics, doing the little things, taking care of the little details. That's just one thing I preach to the young guys.
I see you out here. You're pumping guys up. You got here. You're cheering. Do you feel like you're a leader on this defense?
I just feel like,
or on the team even.
I just feel like whatever I do, I just want to be a leader in, and whether that's in the classroom, on the field, I just want to make sure that the standard is the standard, and it has to be held high, and just bringing energy also helps boost confidence of others, and I just really lean on each other just to help push everyone forward.
All right, last time I think we did an interview like this, you were aching. You're telling me, I haven't got a pick yet. I got to get one. You got two last year. Describe that.
It's definitely a good feeling. Not as many as I wanted to, but you
were trying to score at Southern Illinois. That one, you had a freight train. You were trying to go down the sideline there.
I mean, just having those plays, it really boosts your confidence, and just really your ability to really go out there and make more plays, and just you want to keep getting better and keep striving to keep looking for those opportunities.
Has this happened, Darius, in terms of getting on the field, the timeline you thought, or is it slower, quicker? I mean, tell me, when you got here, is this on the timeline you thought? I
mean, I feel like the timing is perfect. I just feel like everything happens. It's a system here, and you really just got to develop and really trust into your coaches and your role and all the players here, and I just feel like by doing that, time unfolds itself.
There are, I believe, 6 starters that have been replaced on defense, but there's a bunch of guys that have played. It's an interesting mix. Can you describe that about the whole defense of there are guys that have played that maybe haven't started yet?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, with getting into every moment, everyone's seen the field, everyone's seen different situations that we've been in, whether it's 2-minute, just different scenarios that we could be in, and just having those guys have that experience, it really helps us just kind of tone it down and just really see everything and just play to our highest ability.
With the corners as well, that was another spot we talked about. Not sure what the experience that they got last year and bringing almost everybody back outside of Marcus Shepard, what does that do for you guys now, knowing, okay, we all have played together. We know where everybody's going to be.
Exact. I just say just trusting each other. That's the biggest thing is we know they're going to get their job done. They know we're going to get our job done. And just having that has us play even faster and at a faster level. We're always competitive and, we always just cheer on each other. And, we know it's the DBs at the end of the day. So we always have some fun with each other.
Who has been the toughest guy to tackle? Maybe either who you played against or here at NDSU?
Just from like a learning standpoint, I have to go with Marty Brown. That guy, he's a freak of nature,
yes.
And you got to respect him. I just really appreciate everything he's done for me. Just with you get to see not everyone's like Marty Brown, so playing against a guy like that has helped me improve so much.
How about high school? Who was tough? Who was the toughest guy you ever had to? Because you played some pretty good guys down at Champlain Park. Who was number one that comes to mind?
A couple guys I would say is Cody Lindenberg from Anoka.
Yeah.
He went to the U of M, and then Raja too when he was on Lakeville North. We got him in the semifinals.
I was going to say, you bring that up every now and then?
All the time. We'll bring it up all the time.
The fact that he's still here, you guys give him a hard time as Grandpa now. I know you're giving Anthony a hard time about that.
We got the Unk nickname going for him.
Told me that.
That's always a lot of fun. We love doing that, but Raja just done such an amazing job with his leadership role and just really showing what Bison Pride is about and just showing each other it's tough love, but at the end of the day, it's love and, we're all close together. We all appreciate each other, and we're going to play for each other.
When you look at how good this defense can be, what stands out to you about 2025 and the Bison D?
I would say our grit, just being able to next man up mentality. We all have experience under our belts, and just to be able to play at that level with confidence, I just feel like there's a lot of swagger to the defense.
All right, real quick, is there a name or two on the defense we don't know that we're going to know maybe by middle part of the season?
Will Style and Keegan Huber.
Okay, all right.
Get to know
that was
those
perfect.
names.
That's great, bud. Thanks so much for doing this.
I appreciate it.
Stay healthy. Have a great season, okay?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Darius Givance joining us here. That's going to wrap things up here on Hot Mic. Don't forget, though, we're coming up top of the hour. We'll be live from 11 to 12. We got a bunch more interviews on the Bison defense to take you about as we get ready for the 2025 season. If you missed any of our other interviews, everything will be podcasted later today. You can come back and watch a full replay on WDAY+. Shout out to our great crew that got us set up here this morning as well, as we've been sweating it out inside the indoor practice facility, but looking forward to another great hour of Bison content coming up here. So that'll wrap it up for the week. Everybody have a great weekend, and we'll see you back on Monday back in studio. All right, welcome back, everybody. Bison Media Day. We're live on WDAY Plus and Inforum.com for the next hour. Now we got the real athletes to talk about because we got the defense here. Toby Anene joins us here, junior defensive end, who's got some preseason accolades next to his name. Let me start with that. I know you're worried about team goals, but you see that. What goes through your mind that people think you're due for a pretty big year?
It's nice to be recognized, but at the same time, we got the goals of the team this year. I haven't shown anything this year, haven't proved anything, so still a forward-thinking mindset. Those accolades are for what I did last season, and last season's over, so I still have to go out and prove it all over again. Let
me talk about last year. The amount you got to play, especially when Dylan goes down, how much confidence is that giving you now to step into a bigger role in 2025?
Yeah, didn't start off with a lot of confidence, but then just over time with my teammates, their support, their love, and they're just pouring into me. It's grown my confidence so much, especially this offseason, just being able to be a leader, being able to be around these guys. So just my confidence is taking a big step up.
When you look at this Bison defense, I was talking with Darius about this, that there's a lot of guys back that have played, maybe not started, but have played. How do you describe what's back on D in 2025?
Yeah, I think it's a group that's been here for a while. They know the Code Green ways. They know what they should be doing, the right things from wrongs. Maybe not a lot of guys that played a lot of snaps, but it's still, the mentality is there, the physicality is there, and the understanding of the playbook is there.
For yourself here, we mentioned getting a chance to play. It seemed like you got stronger and more confident as the year went on last year. Is that accurate?
Yeah, for sure. That first game at South Dakota State, against South Dakota State, I was a little nervous. I was unsure of myself, but then, over time, your teammates pour into you, you play well, you gain confidence, and you your confidence in your ability and your teammates' confidence in you, it speaks volumes.
Defensive end had a lot of turnover. Guys that, 4 guys graduated, a couple other guys left. You've brought in some transfers. How would you describe the meshing so far in the DN room?
Yeah, I think we're a pretty close group. I love those guys. We just a lot of different personalities, a lot of funny guys in there. So I think it's a great group, and I'm excited for us to show what we got this year.
Have you taken on a leadership role? Do you feel like that's there now?
Yeah, I think it is there. The young guys will come up to me, ask me questions. Even Kelton will ask me some questions. So I feel like it's stepping up into a leadership role, and it's nothing that I'm foreign to, playing high school football, but it's something newer, and it's nice.
You mentioned, let me go back to that Dakota Marker game, because that was the first game after Dylan got hurt. What was the mindset there? Like, okay, there's bigger roles to be asked of me. Take me back to that from last year.
It's just, seeing Dylan go down was hard. It hurt me. He's such a great guy. He's just a great leader. So seeing him go down hurt, but then it was like, I have to fill his shoes. I have to do what he's been doing. So it was a rough transition for maybe a day. And then I realized, nobody feels sorry for me.
Yeah.
We got to go.
I was just asking Darius this, and I'll ask you as well. The timeline of you playing, of getting on the field in this play, how much you've played, is that fit your own timetable? Has it been slower, ahead of schedule? How would you describe that? If I were to go back and ask you when you're coming out of high school,
coming out of high school, I would have said I'm going to start first day. So, but realistically, I feel like it's a normal timeline. Your third year, the first year, you're watching. The second year, you're picking things up, and then the third year, you're ready to go. So I feel like it's a pretty normal timeline.
You look at the defensive line as a whole, and we were looking at defensive tackle with what Keenan can do and what he's shown. Obviously, Duty's back. Your teammate from high school, Logan Larson. I watched Elijah Wayne. Looks like as a freshman, looks like a freak. Describe what this defensive line could potentially do this year.
This D line looks great this year, especially Duty. Logan, Keenan, all those guys. Kelton. It's going to be so much fun watching all these guys go crazy, and it's just. I can't wait for the season to start. I'm so excited to see it all. We
were just visiting here about how stifling it's been the last couple days weather-wise. They feel like that can give you a little peek of what Charleston might be when you guys get down there at the end of the month.
Yeah, so, in our meeting room, we don't have an AC, so it's, we're getting used to the heat. We're from Minnesota, so it's like we get hot summers, so it's nothing too crazy for us.
All right, we'll be right back here. We're going to have more with Toby right after this.
A good role to take on. I'm more of a lead by example, but stepping into more of a vocal leadership role. So it's just been a unique experience, and I just need to step up and bring some guys along with me.
You mentioned we got 6 new starters on the defense. What have you seen through the first 7-8 practices of how good this defense can maybe be in 2025?
I've seen a lot of physicality. We've been thudding up. I've seen a lot of speed. I think we have a lot of fast guys on this team. So it's just really coming together and being more of a unit and just being disciplined in the little things.
Expectations, Toby, are high. You just won the national championship, obviously conference championship. Anything less, I think, might be considered a failure. How do you handle that, knowing expectations are so high for this team?
You just come in every day. You put right foot in front of the left. Just go to work, and we know we're a target on everybody's schedule. So it's just coming with that mindset every day. We need to get better, and we have to get better. So it's just day by day.
People have been feeling the weather here the last couple of days. You can feel the heat and humidity. The Bison Open here in 3 weeks in Charleston, South Carolina. I'm not a great meteorological mind, but last I heard it's hot and humid down there. Is that getting you guys ready for maybe what's to come in 3 weeks?
Yeah, exactly. So it's been weird because the first couple of weeks of summer it's kind of rainy. It's not as hot, but now it's hot. So it's like it's nothing crazy, nothing that we're not used to. So we'll do what we do. We'll fight through adversity, fight through the heat, and keep drinking water, staying hydrated.
Last thing before I let you go, being a Minnesota kid, being a Twin Cities guy, to see the amount of guys that are up here contributing, even one of your own teammates you in high school, Logan Larson, what does that mean to you to see that here at NDSU?
It's just nice to put Minnesota on the map. I feel like Minnesota is such an underrated state. We get overlooked by, the Illinois, the Chicago, the Floridas. But it's nice to know that, we have playmakers here as a state as a whole. We're on the come up.
Great to see you, bud. Good luck and stay healthy this year, all right?
Appreciate
Toby
it.
Anene joining us here. Much more on Bison Media Day coming up later today at 6 and 10. We'll see you guys later. Welcome back, everybody. We're live streaming on WDAY Plus, Inforum.com at Bison Media Day. I think I did my first Bison Media Day interview with this guy 2010 probably, right? Sounds about right with Eric. Can we get his mic there? Sorry, turn his mic on. I think. Don't mute the guy. There we go.
There he goes. Yeah,
there we go.
16 years ago.
2010.
Yes,
Good Lord.
Yes.
You're old and I'm old. Grant Olson, great to see you, bud. NDSU defensive
Thank
coordinator joining us. All right, give us the overview. 8-9 practices in. What have you seen so far?
Yeah, well, seen a lot of improvement in our fundamentals, and that's been a huge point of emphasis for the entire defense. Obviously, Coach Polasek's a huge believer in that. So, anyway, I'm seeing guys run to the football and do a great job with our pursuit angles, which I've been pleased with. I think our thuds have improved. We're tackling, we're hitting people, and doing a good job of that. And then getting off blocks, especially the last couple of days. We made a major emphasis of violently getting off blocks, violent escapes, and I've been pleased. That's improved a lot as well. Now, we've got a lot of younger players, so all of a sudden our offense started getting in some complex plays where it's like you got people going left, people going right, and all of a sudden our fits aren't perfect, and we make a couple MAs. That's going to happen. Yeah. That happens every year in fall camp. We're going to keep coaching, keep walking through, keep getting better. So anyway, that's kind of the next phase of just some of these young guys that don't have the game experience. We just need to continue to get them more reps and more pictures.
It's interesting. We may have talked about it last week when you were on the show about the mix of guys that are back. You have guys that have played but haven't started. How do you handle that, and how have you handled that through fall camp so far?
Gotcha. Well, I think it just comes back to seeing as many pictures as possible. Like defensively, you just cannot get enough 11-on-11 football. Like it's not the safety doing a drill versus two wide receivers is completely different than doing a drill versus two wide receivers plus 9 other guys. Yeah. We need as much 11-on-11 as we can, and we're getting a lot of that. And then we're being very specific about the plays that we're getting those young guys and making sure. And I've got a list of them every single day. I got a list of exactly how many times we've run cover 2 or man-to-man or whatever the case may be. And then also our efficiencies with that and looking at it saying, okay, then I can go to Coach Lyman and say, hey, what does that extra safety need? So anyway, we've worked really hard at that and making sure offense and defense, we got a really good mix and we're giving each other awesome looks. But that would kind of be the biggest thing as far as those young guys of being really detailed in our accounting system.
We had 2 guys just here in Toby Anene and Darius Givance, the guys that have played. Obviously, Darius started last year, but bigger roles are going to be expected on each of them. Are those guys, are they lead by example, or do they need to be more vocal this year?
Well, they definitely need to be more vocal. I think we kind of talk about, being a leader by example is just doing your job, bringing energy. All those things are the Bison standard. Everybody's a leader by example. Yeah. But we need seniors to be able to step up and be vocal leaders. And one thing that I've really noticed with Darius in particular is just bringing good energy and bringing good vibes and having fun.
I've noticed that at camp. He's loud, man. He's into it. Yeah.
Your defense is going to play better when you're smiling. You just are. When you're having fun and smiling, you got a chance to have a darn good defense. Did you smile a lot when you played? I would tell you probably yes. I think I did. I had fun. It's one of those, I wouldn't do what I'm doing if it wasn't fun. No. If we're going to come out here and be miserable, we all got better things to do in life. So anyway, might as well have a good time while we're working really hard.
And you certainly were the vocal part of that. Is that something you can learn, or is that you either have it or you don't?
It's probably one of those, a little bit of both, and some people got it, but I will definitely say, I'm going to say it can be learned in the fact of you see guys come in as freshmen and they're pretty quiet and pretty shy, and all of a sudden by the end of their career they are pretty vocal and continuing to grow.
Who was that when you're playing days?
Oh, man, who would be a good example of that? Christian Dudzik would probably be a good example of that. Yep. Christian was always an amazing do-your-job, was always a great leader by example, but he didn't say a whole lot as a freshman. Marcus Williams would be another one. Marcus didn't have a whole lot to say when he was a freshman. He just he was doing his thing and was an awesome competitor, and then as he got older, he became an amazing vocal leader.
How about Kyle Emanuel? Did he talk all the time?
Again, probably not when they were younger. I would think the standard, or not the standard at NDSU, but kind of what happens the most is young players come in and they learn and they grow, and as they become older, you hear them a lot more, and that's just the natural progression.
And now he talks all the time.
He's really good at it, too, for the record.
He does a good job. Mentioned Darius was out. He decleated a guy out here at practice. Is that something – do you want that kind of contact in fall camp, or is that, hey, we like it, but we don't want to get anybody hurt?
Right now, absolutely yes. And it's one of those that we're always talking about staying up. Everybody stay on your feet. If you got a guy you're going against and he's falling down, grab him and keep him on his feet so you don't end up hitting anybody else's knees. But I appreciate, Coach Polasek talks about, playing in the gray. And we're going to practice in the gray. And there's a couple times where it's maybe that hit was a little too hard or a little aggressive or this or that. But that's how you create a great defense. You can't have a good defense and a violent physical offense that knows how to run through tackles if you don't practice physical. Yeah. And every year it's the first thing you worry about defensively is, are we going to be a good tackler in game 1? Every defense coach in the country wonders that. If we practice hard all fall camp, that can help alleviate that issue.
How proud – this is a 24 question. I know we're on a 25. But when you look at Colorado to Montana State, to me it looked like A to Z. How proud of you of what you saw from the Bison defense last year?
I would say extremely proud. You know what I want to compliment everybody involved in the program, compliment every single assistant coach, compliment every single player, compliment the scouts. We legitimately got better, and I think every week you can look at our defenses and say we got better. Now, unfortunately, sometimes we got worse because all of a sudden you get an injury. Like losing Dylan Hendricks doesn't make you better.
Good.
Losing Sam Young doesn't make you better. But every single player that was able to continue to practice kept getting better. Darius Givance got a lot better from week 1 to week 16, and that's part of the reason we were able to win.
I look at like Ryan Jones, a guy like that who got
huge.
better. Jalen Crumby coming back.
Ton of
Jalen
guys.
Duffie. Like those, and now all those guys are back that you're going to ask even bigger roles in 2025.
Without a doubt. And that's kind of where I know I told you. Like I look at we have a lot more starters and returning reps. I don't care about how many returning starters you have. Who cares what everybody's
returning reps?
Yeah, to me it's like, okay, well, if Jalen Crumby had 400 reps of defense, that's a heck of a lot of defense. The backup defensive tackle had 50 less reps than the starter. Well, then we're returning a guy with starting caliber experience. Who cares who's out there the very first play of the game? So that just doesn't matter to me. I'm excited about the guys that are returning that have experience. Certainly we need a lot more coming up. We got plenty of guys that need those reps, but we have a lot of reps coming back.
Tell me about your position group there. Obviously, with Alex Elliott getting hurt, I know that's a big deal because I think he was primed to at least get some consideration to play, right?
Yes, absolutely. Well, for Alex, he was without a doubt a guy that was going to be on the field on Saturdays, without a doubt. Between special teams and defense, you were going to see him out there doing both. So, anyway, future's really bright for that young man. I feel terrible for him. You transfer somewhere and you get hurt. But he's going to be a good football player, and I'm just going to love him the next 6 months and just make sure he knows that he's valued around here. But the rest of the position, really excited about Donovan Woolen. Donovan's really taking some steps forward in his man-to-man coverage. Really excited about a young Peder Haugo, a young Austin Altapeter. Everybody knows about Logan Kopp. But talking about some other guys, Noah Taylor and Oliver Luck, they're doing a really nice job.
I was going to ask you about Oliver because I haven't yet. So
they're doing a really nice job. I'm like just going from guys that all of a sudden it's like you kind of sort of knew what you were doing to being now really confident and playing fast. Man, that is awesome to see. And it's fun. Like I think it was this last spring. I remember telling Oliver in a unit meeting. I said, "Hey, Oliver, it's a lot of fun being a really good player and knowing what you're doing." Right? And he goes, "Heck yeah, coach!" And I'm like, "Excited to not be on the scout team this year? Heck yeah, coach! I can't wait." That young man worked his tail off for 2 years from Fargo Davies, and now all of a sudden he's going to be on the bus traveling and playing football for us. And he's just a perfect example of why you trust the Bison program. You're going to develop and get better.
How about Ray James, another one who was scout team who missed spring ball? Where's he at in the mix right now for you?
Right now he's in that backup Sam linebacker role, and we got to figure out exactly what his role is going to be.
He's a big guy.
He's really big. He's got 34-inch arms. He's got NFL left tackle offensive arms. It's freaky. I remember watching him play basketball twice. It's impressive. He's a competitor. He's still in that process. Last year he was a basketball player playing football. Now he's a football player that's still figuring it out.
Yeah.
Well, we still got one more step to take to become that really dominant guy that we're looking for, but he's on his way, and he will get there. I got no doubt about it. We just got to figure out, okay, is he a guy that's going to be a blitzer off the edge? Is he a guy that we're going to use in coverage, man coverage or zone coverage? So I still got to figure some of that stuff out. We got to keep developing him, but he'll have a role.
In that line, you got a ton of freshman linebackers that are here as well. Is that something that – now, are you expecting a scrimmage tomorrow? Is this a guy that can help us as a true freshman that can get out on the field?
We're looking really hard at that right now. We're looking really hard. Unfortunately, we've had like a hamstring here, a groin here, an elbow here, so we haven't got to see some of these guys quite as much as we would like. But I think that's a huge part of it, especially with the 4-game redshirt rule of like, okay, are there 3 linebackers and you just designate first 4 games, middle 4, end of 4, and then let's see what happens in the playoffs, right? I mean, we're willing to be super creative about that, and we're evaluating it really hard. I kind of want to keep some of those cards close to the table, but regardless, you bring in 6 freshman linebackers that are 6'2 plus. Every one of them 6'2 plus. They're all over 200 pounds, and they all can run fast. So you got good talent. You just got, we got to coach them from there, right?
Peder Haugo's a name that keeps getting brought up to me by fans. Like, okay, move back. How much is he going to play at linebacker? So I'll ask you, how much are we going to see Haugo out there on the field?
Well, certainly, listen, I'm not going to take Logan Kopp off the field.
No,
right? We're not going to take a first-team all-conference guy out there, but we're going to hopefully find some roles for these guys. And when there's some opportunities to get them on the field, let's do it. I think for the first part for him, I'm hoping that he's starting on all 4 special teams. Now, I'm not the special teams coordinator, and selfishly, right, like every linebacker coach wants the linebackers on special teams as much as possible, but I know he'll be on there, and he'll be doing a good job. And then from there, okay, what kind of packages and what kind of situation can we get him in on defensively? If Logan needs a breather, can we get him in? Can we get him in on a run package and get him stopping the run? Do we get him in on the goal line package? All that we still have got, a week and a half here to kind of figure that stuff out. But I'm hoping he finds a role for sure.
I've brought up his name up a couple times. It's Pop when I've seen him as Elijah Wayne as a true freshman. He doesn't look the part, but you played as a true freshman. Is there any indicators that you can remember, like, okay, he's picking it up like I did, that he can maybe get on the field?
Well, that's a great question. I would say daily improvement, without a doubt. If you get better every single day as a freshman, all of a sudden after 28 days or whatever it is of fall camp, that from day one to that first game, you'll have a shot. And that's what I would say he's doing a great job of right now. I think every single day he's got a little bit better. Don't get me wrong, his stance is nowhere near perfect. He's still got to improve his stance. He's a freshman.
Yep.
They all got to improve their stance. So, let's not expect them to be the next Walter Payton or whatever the case may be for everybody. But overall, we're seeing daily improvement. And then on top of that, we're seeing competitiveness. Just, are you willing to work hard? I love pulling a clip, and even though it's not the linebacker position in short and medium, I love showing a senior corner competing his tail off against Bryce Lance. And then you show a younger corner, and it says, okay, guys, look at the difference in speed, look at the difference in physicality, eye discipline, technique, all those things. You guys are all capable of doing it. We got to get you there. So anyway, that's the case right now where it's like we got to get him there. He's going to get there in a hurry.
Was there a time you remember during fall camp, like, I'm getting it, or did Coach Hazelton or somebody come to you and say, hey, you're getting it, we're going to need you, we're going to play you?
Yeah, I think that was probably after the first couple of days where it was like all of a sudden you ended up on the ones field. And all of a sudden it's like, well, I guess I'm with the ones group, and it's the Preston Evans is getting 4 plays and I'm getting 4 plays right after that. And then all of a sudden when you're doing your double ups and it's like, okay, well, I guess I'm the backup Mike linebacker. I guess nobody ever said anything, but here we go. So anyway, and then, all of a sudden, you're taking, and then we get into the game plan. And it's like, well, he gets 4, you get 4, whatever the rotation might be. So anyway, so that's what I think it kind of dawned on me. And then all of a sudden you're a backup on a lot of special teams and you start running down on kickoff. But I do remember kind of having that fall camp conversation where it's like camp ends and now it's game plan time, sitting down and like, okay, your role this year is to play and to help us. And it's like, wow, okay, I don't know if I was expecting that, but excited about the opportunity.
How much you think if you had the 4 games then, I've talked to Kyle about this, boy, that would have been huge and obviously you would have had another year to play instead of, you got your 4 and done.
Well, I think it just, I look back, sometimes I look back and I'm like, man, I missed out on that just one more year of friendship and camaraderie and just all those fun memories that you get to have.
The guys that you came in with.
Absolutely. And that's something that I look back and I'm like, man, there's just so much fun and so many amazing things that happen in college football. Now, in the same breath, don't get me wrong, I had a great experience being a student assistant coach. I don't know if I would be here right now if I didn't get to be Matt Entz's student assistant linebacker coach, and spend 2 hours a night from January 10th until whatever in July when we went on vacation. We spent 2 hours or more every single day talking about football. So anyway, for the practical aspect, but what an amazing opportunity for a freshman to get in there, and even if we're up by 20 points or who cares what the situation is, to go in and get 10 plays of real college football, that's why you come to NDSU and that's why you play the game. So anyway, I think it's huge. It only makes them that much better. I remember we did that with the Mostarts. We did that with Logan Kopp. We've done that with a number of guys, and everybody that we've done that with has gone on to be really successful.
Last thing, I never want to remember how hot it was at Kansas State, but the last couple of days have not felt like Manhattan, but kind of close.
It's been hot.
How much is that? Can it bank you ready for Charleston for what you get at the end of the month?
Well, I think it definitely can. One thing I've appreciated is we turn the air conditioning off in the IPF. We got this big, beautiful building, right, with all this great air
conditioning.
Appreciate
that, by the way.
No, turn it off, open up the doors, get it nice and hot. It's funny. I'm outside, and I think it's like this hot wind, and then I come inside, and the freshmen are drenched, right? I'm like, perfect. We're getting used to the heat. So anyway, we can laugh about it and everything. But the humidity. One thing I think is kind of interesting. I mean, this building, especially, it radiates heat out there. That turf is darn hot. If the temperature on your iPhone or whatever your phone says 85, it's 105 on that turf. So anyway, it's getting us ready for sure.
Have you been to South Carolina before?
One time I drove down. Amy had a tournament.
I was going to say,
Amy
played down there? Okay.
It was the U.S. Open. Was it in 2019, 2021? Somewhere around that. It was in Charleston.
Okay.
And I rode down with her and I flew out. So I've driven through the state but not spent any time there, but one time, yes.
Well, here we go. Great to see you, man. Thanks so much for doing this, and we'll talk soon, all right?
Appreciate it.
Grant Olson joining us, NDSU defensive coordinator here on Bison Media. We come back. Donovan Woolen will join us as we roll on WDAY Plus right after this. Welcome back, everybody, here on WDAY Plus, Inforum.com. Bison Media Day rolls on. Please be joined by Frisco, Texas native Bison sophomore linebacker Donovan Woolen joins us. This time last year was still figuring things out. He got up here during spring ball. Now you're an old hat at this, but how's fall camp number 2 going?
It's been going pretty good. I'm excited to get back out here again. It's been really fun so far, and I'm ready for the season.
You came up here, for people that don't know, January of 2024.
Yep.
Describe, for people that don't know, that decision, graduating early, and how that paid off in ways that maybe you never even thought about.
In my senior year, I knew I just wanted to play football. I knew graduating early is what I wanted to do. So, I mean, that's what I did. And it's really benefited so far. Got to learn the playbook early, got to know the older guys early, get their trust a little bit. And I got to show the coaches that I can play a little bit. And that's ultimately got me on special teams this past year, got me to play in a couple of games.
When was there a conversation during fall camp? Did either Gio come up or did anybody come and say, hey, we're going to need you?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that, and can you take us through that?
I know Coach P has always told me that my speed, size, length is always really good. And on special teams, you know, you need speed, you need size, you need to be able to compete. And he always told me I was a great special teams guy, and that's where they needed me this past year, the 2024 season, and I just gave it the best I could every day.
The fact that when you got out there, I think the Tennessee State game, I know you traveled, you were at Colorado.
Yeah.
I remember talking with your mom about it. Was that like pinch me like, holy cow, I just got out of high school and now here I'm playing Division I football? Did you have that kind of moment?
It definitely was awesome. I mean, it was a dream come true, especially my first collegiate play was a kickoff. Just running down the field, Ozick kicked it through the end zone, so I didn't have much action on it. But it was pretty cool running through, hearing the cannons go off in the Fargo Dome. That was pretty cool. Yeah, it was really exciting.
So now a year later, and knowing the change in the linebacker room, you're getting reps with the number 1 unit. Describe expectations or just how things have changed for you now.
I've definitely taken a little bit of a leadership role to the new guys coming in. Obviously, we still have guys like Kopp and Hammy that I still learn from every day. But I feel like I kind of have to help these new young guys out so they can help us in the future.
Do you feel like that leadership role is almost natural? I mean, you're only a sophomore, but is that something that's come natural to you?
Definitely. It came a little natural just seeing like guys like Kubitz, Oscar, Wirtz, how they led the team last year. I feel like was really good for me to be a leader this year and show me how to be a leader and how to teach the young guys what to do and making sure they're on point with everything.
Donovan, when Enoch decides to leave, how much does that change your own mindset? Like, okay, there might be a spot now for me to play. Can you take me through that?
I was always focused on go win the job. Even after Enoch had a great season, my main goal was go win the job. Even got to compete every day. I mean, when he left, I mean, that's his decision, but now it's my time to step up and keep competing, and I still got to compete every day.
The fact you have the amount of experience you did, if you didn't do that, you feel like you'd be where you're at, if that makes sense. If you didn't come early, if you didn't have a chance to play, would you be in the same spot if you had not done that?
Coming early definitely helped, but I feel like knowing my talents and knowing how I was able to understand the defense when I first got here, I feel like I would still be where I'm at today.
Yeah.
It helped a little bit, but my hard work and dedication got me to where I'm at here today.
You started a trend because 2 more guys got here with Miles Mitchell and Xander Smith. What did you tell them, or did you have any conversations about it when they got here?
I told them, because learning a completely new playbook is definitely hard, especially a college playbook compared to a high school one. I told them they should be meeting with their coaches every day, learning, even if it's only 10 minutes, learning something every day is very important at a young age. And, that was kind of my main like goal for them, or telling them what to do was that.
How about on the personal side? About you're supposed to be enjoying your the second half of your senior year. Did you have any homesick moments like that?
Definitely the first Friday night was definitely a little homesick just because I was still new. Guys didn't really know me yet. But that next day, I kind of hung out with some guys at the DC and then hung out with them after that. And I feel like after that it was completely normal and I felt fine. Only one night really homesick.
Oh, wait, you call mom a lot or no?
I call my parents every now and then. Should call them more.
I'm there with you, my man. It's a unique transition, and it's difficult because I was visiting with Miles about this during the spring and I think he went back for his prom as well. It's different because you want to enjoy every part of it, but like you said, you were ready to start the next chapter of your life.
See, I didn't go to prom. That's the luxury I wish I had. Our spring game was on prom. But
you can't get out of that.
But I was ready. I was ready to go. I knew my goals, and I know that coming early was one of my goals, and so I just wanted to check that one off the book.
The Frisco Brigade keeps getting bigger. Obviously, Jones is here, yourself, and now we got Jailen Archibald, who's on the team, who transferred in. Give us the backstory on what you know about Jailen and what he can do here.
Jailen, he's a very, very competitive guy, very aggressive guy, especially in high school. I know Jailen, he keeps competing every day to get a spot on that travel roster, and which it's really fun to see. I love playing with someone from my hometown because we can connect. But it is pretty fun playing with Jailen every day.
Is it wild that people up in Fargo know your hometown maybe better than anything else? Like it just like we were just talking off air. Like I know maybe more locations in Frisco than I do like West Fargo.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
It is kind of weird, but I feel like a lot of people they think they know Frisco. They don't really know Frisco. I mean they see what they see. They see Toyota Stadium. They see the places around that, but they don't. Yeah.
Tell me about it then. What maybe we don't know about Frisco that you lived and experienced?
I mean, it's I don't really. There's no way to really explain it. You just got to be from there. You know? Just like wherever you're from, there's probably something different about that.
There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
I do need to know about like Friday Night Football. I've seen your high school.
Yeah.
I've seen all the high schools around Frisco proper. Plano. Braylon always used to tell me Plano East was the best. But I know Friday Night Football, man. We've seen it in movies and TV shows. Is it accurate or is it made up for television?
It's definitely accurate. It's definitely like a highlight of that first semester in high school.
Yeah.
It's really fun. I know being in Frisco, we had a luxury of playing at the Star. So that was really loud because of the dome kind of. Playing at Toyota as well, that was really fun. Even like away games were really fun. I remember my junior year we traveled 3 hours just for the second round playoff game. That was really fun.
One way?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
3 hours there and then 3 hours back after the game.
Did you win?
We did not win that
that's
game.
A long bus.
Overtimes.
That's a long.
Four
long
overtimes.
bus ride home, man.
Yeah, but it was a fun game, though.
And every Friday night you're going up against, how many, 10, 11 Division I guys?
Yeah,
likely?
definitely top talent, for sure.
I mean, how much do you think that made you ready for whatever Division I was going to be like?
Honestly, I don't think high school football can get you ready for Division I football because it's a completely different game.
Yeah.
It's way faster, way more aggressive. The O-line's bigger. But I feel like maybe, playing these speedy guys in Texas definitely helped a little bit because we have a lot of fast receivers on our team.
Where do you envision yourself on the field? Is it safety, linebacker, a little bit everywhere? What expectation-wise for yourself for 2025?
Definitely that Sam linebacker spot, playing man, playing zone, being in the box. I want to be everywhere. I want to be able to do everything. Mm-hmm.
Do you have any personal goals? Obviously, you want team goals are self-explanatory. But for yourself, did you set anything out that you wanted to do in 2025?
I know one of my main goals was to be a leader.
Yeah.
Try to be a leader for these young guys and help out my peers around me. And then another goal was be all conference. That's a goal everybody wants to have. And honestly, I'm not really focused on my personal goals. I'm really focused on the team goals and winning the national championship.
Last thing before I let you go, is there a way to describe all the linebackers? Is there a certain term you would use to how this linebacker unit is looking or could be?
Could be one word. I know we're all aggressive. We're all ready to compete. We're all ready to go August 30th. I feel like smart.
Okay.
Logan Kopp's a smart guy. Very smart guy.
Yep.
Nathaniel's a very smart guy.
Yep.
And I'd like to call myself smart. Alta Peter's smart. Luck is smart. We're all really smart.
I know I can never complain about Minnesota or North Dakota heat for a guy from Texas, but what has the last couple of days been like for you? Is it just like back home?
It's been pretty hot. Not like back home, because back home I would go like upper 90s, but it's been hot. I mean, 90 degrees is 90 degrees. It's going to be hot. You got to drink water to not cramp.
So is that, are you ready for what you may have probably more experience than anybody what Charleston's going to bring at the end of the month?
I'm ready. You got to drink water, drink your pickle juice, get your electrolytes in.
Juice. Yes,
eat right.
I've heard that.
No soda, no nothing.
Have you done the pickle juice, man?
I have. My senior year of high school was really all pickle juice.
Thanks for doing this, bud. Good luck. Stay healthy, all right? Thanks for
you.
the time, all right? Donovan Woolen joining us here on our Bison Media Day show. Mm-hmm. We'll break. Got a couple more guests coming before we wrap things up on WDAY Plus right after this. Welcome back, everybody, here on our Bison Media Day special on WDAY Plus and Inforum.com with you for about another 25 minutes. Please be joined by a guy who grew up about a stone's throw from here, Bison sophomore linebacker Peder Haugo. Great to see you, my man. How you been?
I've been well. I've been doing well.
Literally, how far is your house here from the Dome?
I'm about 7 minutes. I live more on the south side of town, but high school's 2 blocks and middle school's another block. So
you still kind of like pinch yourself like this happened. Like we talked about it when you committed. Like this was always the dream, and now here you are in the pads getting ready for your second year. Is it clicked yet for you?
It really hasn't. Even though it's been 2 years, it's kind of wild to think that it was only it feels like yesterday I was sitting back with you down in your studio choosing where I was going, and it's been wild.
Let's go back a little bit to this time last year, because I was visiting with Jackson Williams about this, and there's a couple of guys who are true freshmen that may get a chance to play. When did the conversation, it was early that you got moved to running back, but when did you get the sense that, okay, I may play this year?
Yeah, I think it was a week or two before that Colorado game. I sat down with Coach Landry, and he's like, here you are on the depth chart, and, we might need you coming into this game, and that's when it really hit me, like, wow, I'm going to be playing maybe the most hyped-up college football team ever, and I went from playing these North Dakota, good football, I would say, but nothing could compare to the hype that was going into that game.
What was the phone call back home like that after that meeting? Or did you go home after that?
I just run home straight to my dad. I was like, I think you need to buy some tickets to Boulder. Let's get it going.
What was his reaction?
I don't think he was very surprised, honestly,
really?
Which was pleasing to me, but he was really excited and proud that.
The fact that you got to play as much as you did, how much does that help? Even though you're now moving back to linebacker, did it help last season?
100%. I think it kind of just gives me the right mindset going into this season, kind of knowing that I've been there and I can attack it more from a veteran standpoint rather than kind of being starstruck when I go out there and try to make plays for the first time.
Well, what was the first time out in the field? What was it? Was it nervous last year during a game?
Nervous. Yeah, especially carrying the ball.
Yeah.
As a redshirt freshman, you're putting as a freshman, you're putting the team on your back, and you're carrying the program in your hands.
Well,
so.
I was calling it. I'm like, okay, the last time he was out on the field, he was for the state championship game against Red River Central. Now here you are. Did you think about that at all, like when you came off, or did it click at all?
I hadn't really thought about it until just now that my last high school game, my first college game, I played in the same stadium. So that's pretty wild.
Not many have that
that
distinction. So now let's. At the end of the season, I think we talked about in the spring ball, but our viewers that maybe didn't see it, the conversation with Coach Polasek about what you want to do. Can you give us the back door on that?
Yeah, he kind of just gave me the option to either pick running back or linebacker, and after having some conversations with Coach Olson and Coach Polasek, I felt that I have a bigger ceiling over at linebacker, and I think for the future it's a better fit for me and this football team for sure. So decided to go with linebacker, and I think I'm very happy with that choice. People
may forget you played linebacker in high school. You did both. I mean, what do you like about that spot that maybe can really show your full talents?
I like being part of a team and playing team football. I feel like at a running back kind of position you get a lot of glory, and I just love being part of a team, and
knowing the playbook that you got a chance to see it, is that even a jump start? Like, did you notice that during spring ball that I know it already?
Yeah, it definitely helps a lot, especially for guys that are coming in freshman year that come out early and they come to spring ball. It definitely gives you a head start on guys who don't get that opportunity.
How did spring ball go in your mind to get you ready now for what fall camp has entailed so far?
It kind of just gave me that first year back at linebacker, I would say. I didn't get that fall camp at linebacker.
Yeah.
So it kind of gave me what I needed to get my mind right for this season. I have guys like Logan Kopp and Austin Peder to sit behind and learn. So it was really awesome to kind of take a ton of reps during spring ball and, now during this fall camp, kind of sit back and learn behind them.
You were out making plays during the Green and Gold Showcase. I mean, just describe the confidence level you have now when fall camp began.
Yeah, I think that spring ball really kind of just helped me realize that I do have a lot of potential here at linebacker. At first when I was moved over to running back, I thought it was maybe because they didn't see me
as a linebacker.
Yeah, as a linebacker.
Really? Yeah.
But I think during that game when I was making those plays, it kind of just showed me. And looking back on it now, like I can definitely play here.
That's interesting. Let me ask about that. Like, was it they believe in you that we need you, but was it maybe a shot to your confidence? Like, hey, maybe I can't play the position they recruited me to play?
Definitely kind of hit me in that sense. But then once I sat down and kind of thought about it, I kind of just realized they see me as a playmaker and somebody who can join to the team and where they need me. So.
How badly did you want to get in the end zone though last year?
Really badly. There were a couple of them where I was down on the 2 and the 1, and I was like, Coach, you need to give me this ball right here. And, they throw a little slant to John Gores in the end zone or have another running back come in and score. And I was like, come on.
I want to ask you, because you mentioned Johnny Gores, Fargo guy that played at Shanley. the level of football in Fargo, you saw it up close. I mean, we're seeing it now where there are Division I guys that are getting recruited, yourself obviously, but over the last couple of years, the level of football in town, how good is it that maybe people don't understand?
I think it's a lot better than people understand. I mean, we have a 4-star Cade that's going down to Nebraska. That's a big-time recruit.
Yep.
Schools like Kindred having 3 or 4
multiple
Division
guys.
I.
Yep.
Even Reese Kessel's brother, Drew, he's getting a ton of offers. Football is definitely kind of blowing up in North Dakota, and it's a good thing to see. I think when I was growing up, not that I can remember, there weren't a ton of Division I players. I mean, we had a handful, but now it's really cool to see that we're kind of be put on the map.
I'm just trying to think now the bragging rights here because you got a South guy, you got yourself. Davies is certainly represented. Shanley is. I don't know. West Fargo was. Gully was here, but he graduated. Are there still trash talking on Friday nights when everybody plays? How's that go down?
For sure. There's definitely still a big rivalry between North and South. Me and Reese are kind of giving each other some crap when North and South are playing. So
that's fantastic. When you look back at especially at high school games, is there a couple, maybe state championship excluded, that stand out? Like, boy, that was a lot of fun.
I think my last homecoming game against South came down to the wire. Samuel Friddle came with a big stop in the end zone to seal the deal, and I think it was just a really cool experience to kind of end my homecoming on a cool note, especially against our rival.
Yeah. Looking ahead now, expectation-wise for yourself, I know what the team goals are. What have you set for yourself for 2025?
Just make an impact whenever they need me. If Logan goes down or Austin goes down, come in and be able to uphold their standard that they've set. Logan's a great player. I don't want there to be a drop-off when I come into the game, right? I also want to be a huge impact on special teams. I think that the team can really use me there. So
it's interesting. Do you feel like with the amount you mentioned the guys at linebacker that moved on, do you feel like you're a new guy in the linebacker room even though you've already been here? How do you equate that, I guess?
I do kind of feel like a new guy. Just I haven't been in the room as long as the linebackers that are in my class have been in there.
Yes, yeah.
So it's a different dynamic, but I think even though I've been here for an entire year, like within the program, I'm still somewhat familiar with.
Last question. Cuz is heading out west.
Yeah, he
Maybe
is.
Make about that, about going to UCLA. When did you find out about that?
I kind of was.
You were in the know? Were you in on that?
I've been in the know. Yeah, we've been out to the lake. He's been talking to me, and I think it's really good for him to be able to go out to a big program and kind of showcase what he can do.
Well, we saw it just briefly here at NDSU, and obviously at Moorhead and what he did. Holy cow. Saw that. That's big-time stuff for Michael.
Yeah.
It's great to see you, man. Stay healthy. Have a great year. Thanks for the time, all right?
Thank you.
Peder Haugo, pride of Fargo North, joining us here. We come back. Last guest, Jailen Duffie, will join us. We'll wrap things up here on our Bison Media Day streaming special right after this. Welcome back, everybody. We saved the best for last for our Bison Media Day streaming special on WDAY+. Sophomore corner, Jailen Duffie joins me. Great to see you, man. How you been? How's the off season?
It's been pretty good. Getting stronger, bigger, and faster.
All right. So first thing, I got to get this out of the way. How many of your buddies still bring up? See you on TV, you got on posters, you're on video about the Travis Hunter play.
I mean, it gets talked about a lot. I mean, all the friends from back home, they're like, yeah, it's such a crazy thing. Like, you were just in high school with us now, and now you're guarding Travis. Like, it's just crazy. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty nice experience.
So we talked the week after, and I think you were still like, I should have made the play.
Yeah.
How do you feel? I mean, now you're a year removed. You still feel that way? Or like, hey, it was pretty, like, I'm trying to. The guy won the Heisman Trophy.
Right. Yeah, facts. No, I definitely still think I could have made that play, but at the same time, like, I don't know. I'm blessed to be in the position to get the opportunity to go against that player and even get a chance to step on the field. So,
confidence level from that time last year to now, how different is it for you?
It's way different. My confidence is all the way up there. I'm not gonna lie. I just think all the hard work I put in the summer, I'd finally get to show it to my fullest this year with being healthy and all that good stuff. That's my main focus, is staying healthy.
Let's talk about that, because I know you got to play, but you got the concussion, then you broke a bone in your finger. I mean, just how difficult was last year? Man, I'm getting a chance to play, and then I just can't stay on the field.
I mean, it was difficult, but at the same time, I think the mindset that I had, I was just so ready to I was just so ready to get back out there on the field and stuff like that and just keep going. It wasn't like I wasn't really trying to recover myself, but now as the offseason came, like, I've been doing everything I can to make sure, like, when the season does come, I'm not having those issues and stuff like that. So even in practice, stuff like that, like, I mean, I'm not doing all the tackling stuff like that, but, you know.
How was it playing with the club deal? How was that? How difficult was that? Especially as a corner,
yeah.
I can't imagine it's easy.
No, it was definitely an experience. I've never had to play with something like that on my hand, especially for corner when you need to use your hands every play. Yep. It was cool, though. I know I had a play versus South Dakota where I made, like, this crazy play, got off a block with one arm and made the tackle, and my teammates were like, bro, like, what? How did you just do that? I'm like, yeah, I don't know, man. It just happened.
Now, were you worried of the ball coming? Like, if I gotta make a pick here, like, can I do it? Like, what was that?
To be honest, that did not even cross my mind. I was just out there playing ball. I mean, I wasn't really worried about it, not gonna lie. I was just playing like I did have a hand.
To have that experience, how much has that helped now for fall camp when things started here this summer?
It's helped a lot. It helps me play faster on the field. It helps me be able to speak more with the younger classmen, help out the younger classmen, even when we're on the field with the ones and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, I just think like everyone's playing so much more faster than we were.
I mean, corner, this time last year, I'm not sure if we knew, maybe outside of Shep, we knew he was going to play. After that, we didn't know. It's a totally different vibe now.
Yes,
Describe that.
I mean, yeah, we have a lot of guys in the room who can compete and go out there and give their best, but, you know, like, when it really comes down to it, what our position coach harps on a lot is if you can do your job, be physical, play man coverage, and execute the playbook, you have all the shots at it. Like, you're gonna do what you have to do.
What is it to have Coach Johnson coach you? What is that like for a guy that played at a really high level?
It's great. Like, I don't know. I don't think there's a better cornerback coach out there who can be coaching me right now. I'm not gonna lie. Like, my growth from when I was a freshman to now is super different. And I don't know, even when I go back and look at my film from last year and just look at the practices I'm having now, like, you can really see every guy in the corners room is really bought into the technique and the stuff that Johnson's bringing to the table.
And he got to go coach with the Eagles.
Yeah.
I mean, how big a deal was that for you guys?
Was nice. He actually sent me a few videos of those guys, like the reps they were getting and stuff like that. So just to see, like, the stuff that they're doing and then the stuff that we're doing, like, it just goes to show how far – like, we're not too far away from that, and they're not doing anything, like, too different that we're doing. They're just at a higher level.
Describe for the guys you have back, obviously with Ant back, Jaquise, yourself,
Yep.
what that does for you guys, knowing you've all played, you've all started, you all played a lot of games.
It does a lot. You know, I feel like we'll be able to rotate if we were if we needed to and stuff like that. I know, like, last year we did it, like, we'll have two corners go out there and start. If we're rolling pretty good, we'll go in another time, and then the twos will go in.
Yep.
And then we'll just keep rotating like that. I mean, we have a pretty good corners group this year. I'm not gonna lie. I'm super excited to see what we're gonna do. It's gonna be fun.
Antoine Booth is also here.
Yes.
How has he joined the group from a guy who's played a ton of football as well?
He's been great. He's coming from JMU with a lot of experience. He's bought into the technique, bought into the Wolfpack, and yeah, we're excited to see what he can do.
I'm interested to, first off, new number.
Yes.
Is that your high school number, or how'd that go about? Give us a little backstory on this.
So I had this number when I was playing youth football in Waukegan. And I don't know, I've always wanted number 2.
Yeah.
And I actually was going to get number 1 this year, but they didn't have a small enough jersey for me. I didn't want to wear a big old number 1
Donovan
jersey.
Woolen's a big boy. He can fill out number 1.
Yeah, he can. Yeah, he can. So I was just like, I mean, if I can get 2, I'm gonna get 2. You know, it's a nice number, and yeah.
Growing up, the level of football, Chicago area, can you give us the backstory on that and how good? I mean, Miles is obviously another Chicago kid. Of how good the level of high school football is in your hometown.
Man, it's pretty good. Like, my high school, I think I graduated with a class of like 1,000 or something like that. 8A football. I mean, man, it was something growing up. Like, football was always something that the younger kids looked into getting into or something like that. Like, I don't know. It's just a really big culture down there with football. So
the game at Illinois State is back there on the road. Is that big for you? How big a deal is that for your family to get a chance to come see you?
It's a big deal. I think last year.
It's a night game too.
Yeah. I think last year, I think I got like 20 family members out there to that game, so it was pretty nice. And especially Fargo being so far away from home, like, just makes it a little easier for them to travel to that one.
Is there a game outside of that one? Is there another one you have circled on the schedule that stands out? Like, all right, I can't wait for this one.
I can't wait for all of them.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Not gonna lie.
The trip down to South Carolina to start. I mean, it's been muggy. Chicago, I know that area gets muggy during the summer. Is that a preparation of what's to come at the end of the month? You think?
We prepare for it. Like we said, we're out here doing all the hard work in fall camp. You know, we're drinking salt, putting salt in our Gatorade, putting salt on our food, all types of stuff, keep us away from cramping and all that good stuff.
The pickle juice, I heard. You doing that too?
Yeah, we're doing everything to stay hydrated and stay away from cramping.
Last year, I was talking with Darius. He was just itching for that first pick.
Yeah.
Are you in that same boat?
I'm itching bad, but I don't want to itch too much because I know, like, when you itch too much, then you might drop the first one. I don't want to have one of those.
Tell me about that. When the ball's in the air coming near you, just what's the like? I got to make a play.
Yeah.
I want it, or just I either break it up or I want it. Tell me about that.
I'd probably say my mindset most of the time is break it up. It just depends where I'm at and where the ball is. If I obviously have a chance to make a play on the ball and take it to the house, that's what I'm willing to do. I don't think anyone would be able to catch me if I were to start, but yeah.
Ant was telling me you guys are giving him a hard time. You give him the Unk nickname.
Yep,
you described that.
We gave him the Unk.
Being the 6-year guy.
Yep. He's being last year we used to call Shep.
Yes,
We used to call him Unk. So now that Anthony's the older guy, we gotta give him the Unk status.
What does that experience do that he's back, he's played a ton of football, and a leader in your cornerback room?
It means a lot. It just means I don't know, like there's definitely a good amount of guys in our room who has the experience and who's been here. Like Keegan Huber, he's another guy who's came a long way this summer, and he's going to do some very great things for us. Super excited to see where he stands out with us.
So the last question I have is the dumbest one, because I was like, who's the best player you faced? We already know that, but is that I guess going into this year, how much confidence? Like, there's nobody's gonna be better than that guy. How much that I'm gonna face?
I mean, I go into the season with a lot of confidence, but at the same time, I want to stay as humble as can be and just keep working towards my goal. Because I mean, I'm not clear. Like, I'm not fully where I want to be at the end. Like, I still have a lot to grow and development to do. So, yeah.
It's great to see you, man. Stay healthy and good luck this year, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Jailen Duffie joining us, sophomore corner for the Bison defense. And that'll wrap it up here for our live show at Bison Media Day. If you missed any of it, everything will be streaming later on WDAY Plus and Inforum.com. We'll have a full recap of things coming up tonight on our news at 6 and 10. Thanks to our crew for making it happen, both here on location and back in the studio. I'm Dom Izzo. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.